Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. I am your host, Ringo TV. We are back with another one. I told you guys I was coming back on. I didn't say what time, but I pretty much want to get this pretty much done right now. I don't want to wait till later in the day to do this particular show because pretty much by now, a lot of people already done talked about the funeral with Nolan Wells. But I want to break this thing down and share my professional commentary about this particular situation and offer my expertise on exactly what I'm seeing. The live chat is for members only. I know it's pretty much way late and pretty much way early in the morning. Maybe nobody might not even be here, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to get this job done so that I could pretty much move on to other things that I have to do on today. So if anybody show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. Who cares? Now, before we begin, I want to make the viewers understand that when it comes to the Nolan Wells case, a lot of Black Americans have been programmed like robots. I call them NPCs, to believe whatever is being told so that it can be controlled bots. Now, a lot of social media influencers, they're called grifters. They have been promoting a lot of hate, division, in order to make money. A lot of YouTubers were able to make a lot of money, guys. I'm talking about a lot of money off the death of Nolan Wells by rage baiting the viewers to keep the engagement up. So we're going to really discuss this and talk about it. We're going to listen to Al Sharpton speak. That's pretty much where I'm going to start the video from. I don't want to hear all the beginning stuff or watch photos. I don't got time for all of that. Right. I want to get down to where Al Sharpton comes in, and then I think he brings in the mother of Nolan Wells. I think he brings her in, and then the stepdad, he comes in. And pretty much from there, I don't even know what happens because I didn't even watch it up to there. So I didn't even watch the whole thing, to be honest to you. I didn't even watch not even 20% of that funeral. You know what I'm saying? So as I go through it on this show here, I'm pretty much breaking it down as I go. The only thing that I can recall watching is when Al Sharpton talked about he's offering $50,000, and I think later on Tyler Perry said that he's going to offer another $50,000, which is kind of crazy. So we're going to cover all of this in one stream. That way I can get all this work done, and if need be, I could just chop my own video up into smaller segments so that I can pretty much post, because I don't expect anybody to watch the whole stream anyway. But nonetheless, guys, what I want to do is I want to play a song before we actually begin. I produced this song in SUNO. SUNO is an app where you can pretty much produce music, AI-generated music, where you program it with prompts and various other things. You can add your own lyrics and all that other stuff. So I put something together that I want to, I guess, minister to the viewer, because a lot of people are programmed. And I really think that the death of Nolan Wells was a Masonic ritual, because the funeral screams Masonic. The parents of Nolan Wells, I don't trust them at all. If you've been watching my videos, I've been breaking down a lot of information. A lot of people are mad at me because I use my brain. You know, a lot of people are not able to use their brain. They're like mindless sheep. They just go with whatever they're told. I don't do that. I actually look at what's going on, and I weigh all the evidence and the facts. A lot of people are just emotional, and if you're not as emotional like them, they get upset with you. So without further ado, guys, we're going to play this song. Then we're going to pretty much go into the actual funeral video so I can break it down for you, because a lot of you may have seen it, but you don't really know what's going on. Because again, if you're under the mental programming that social media has given you, then you're going to be like a bot, an NPC, looking for blood, looking for somebody to blame. I mean, they turned the funeral into a rally, guys, like literally. They're offering up money. They're offering up, they want witnesses. They want something that can bring forth an arrest. This is crazy stuff. All at a funeral. But hey, to each his own, right? Let's get into this song right here, guys. And let me know what you think about it. Let me know if it ministers to you, because when I tell you guys, a lot of you may be viewing all these videos on YouTube from these influencers from the devil, but you don't understand that these people are all programmed to program you. And it's designed to create rage, division, outrage, so that we can be angry with white people. You have to think about what's going on. No arrest was made, no foul play, no autopsy given. The family made millions. Nolan is dead. They made up a bunch of lies, a bunch of rumors. They hired a civil rights attorney, Al Sharpton. All of these race hustlers. Tyler Perry got involved. All the big willies got involved for this one death, when there's multiple deaths happening all over the world. But this one is special. Think about that.
Yeah. Turn the noise down. Let the truth breathe. No rumors, no mobs. Evidence before judgment. Wake up. Another headline, another live stream. People selling guesses like they know what it means. Pain gets packaged, anger gets sold, then a lie runs fast while the truth moves slow. No proof on the table, still they point at his friends. Turn suspicion into guilt before the questions ever end. Black against white, that is how they frame the fight. But a race-based story does not make the story right. Christine and Elmore, grief deserves respect, but grief cannot replace what the evidence detects. Hundreds of thousands raised, now the public wants to know where the facts are leading, not where emotions want to go. No charge, no confession, no proven crime. Still the internet convicted people one post at a time. If you care about Nolan, then demand the truth. Do not blame
Hit that
another
like
person
button
when nobody has the proof. Slow down, think before you follow. A lie spreads today, truth may come tomorrow. Calm down, guard your heart and mind. When emotion leads, common sense gets left behind. Wake up, break free from the grift. Do not let the anger make your judgment start to shift. Facts first, truth first, that is how we stand. Do not place guilt on somebody with no proof inside your hand. Wake up, they are pulling every string. Turning grief into a platform, turning pain into a theme. Black, white, side by side, we cannot live by it. Truth does not need race bait just to keep the crowd excited. Ben Crump at the microphone, Sharpton on the stage. Powerful voices know the weight of public rage. Use that power for the facts, do not bend it for a trend. Justice is not justice when division is the end. Sharpton and Tyler Perry offered money for a lead. A reward may bring an answer, but it cannot prove a deed. A burial became a rally. Cameras caught the pain, but a movement cannot tell us who is guilty or to blame. Social media soldiers repeat what they receive. No research, no questions, just in order to believe. Like NPCs in a game, programmed by the feed. Copy, paste, attack, repeat, never checking what they read. You are not a bot, you were born to use your mind. You can care about Nolan and still question what you find. You can pray for the family and reject a reckless claim without turning random people into targets for the blame. Slow down, think before you follow. A lie spreads today, truth may come tomorrow. Calm down, guard your heart and mind. When emotion leads, common sense gets left behind. Wake up, break free from the grift. Do not let the anger make your judgment start to shift. Facts first, truth first, that is how we stand. Do not place guilt on somebody with no proof inside your hand. Wake up, they are pulling every string. Turning grief into a platform, turning pain into a theme. Black, white, side by side, we cannot live by it. Truth does not need race bait just to keep the crowd excited. This is deeper than a hashtag, deeper than a name. Once you falsely mark a person, you may never clean the stain. Do not let a viral title take your common sense away. Real truth could stand in daylight, real facts can lead the way. No more black against white, no more feeding us
Hit
the
that
fight.
like
No
button.
more making grief a weapon just to keep the ratings high. Minister unto your mind, guard your heart and guard your eyes. Every voice with a platform is not qualified to guide. Wake up, wake up. Take control of what you see. You were given your own judgment. You were born to think freely. Facts first, truth first. Let the evidence decide. We will never find the answer while the people stay divided. Wake up. No more rumors, that's conviction. Wake up. No more race-based manipulation. Wake up. Let the truth become the mission. Justice without evidence is only public suspicion. For Nolan, let the truth speak. For every person falsely blamed, let the facts speak. Do not confuse grief with proof. Do not confuse a movement with truth. You are not an NPC. You are not programmed. Truth over race, facts over fear, justice over division. Wake up!
Hopefully that song will clear your frequency so that you're able to wake up. So as we move forward and I begin to speak, the programming that was done to you, it gets lifted. Let's get into the content. Make sure you hit the like button as you join in. Again, the live chat is for members only. If you want to join the live chat, become a channel member. It's like that so I can avoid all these trolls that like to pull up on my live stream and just waste my time. I don't want to be arguing with people in a live chat. So it's only open for civilized people, right? So let's get into this content. Let's break this thing down. We're dealing with the situation with the funeral, and we want to find out exactly what's going on. We're going to go into this thing right here and play this tape. Let's get into it.
Come on, give it up, give it up. Give it up for Brother Thaddeus. Certainly we thank him, At this time, we're going to call on the eulogist of the hour, none other than the Reverend Al Sharpton, who certainly does not need no introduction. So at this time, we will hear from the president and founder of the National Election Network, the host of Politic Nation on MSNBC Now. MS Now, let's hear from Reverend Al Sharpton at this time.
First, let us pray. Dear God, we come this morning as humble as we know how. We come to celebrate the life of this young man, Nolan Xavier Wells. We come with a painful acknowledgement of you allowed him to return home at a young age. We can't question what you do, but we can ask for the strength and power to be given us to go through this and understand the meaning of.
Let me just say this, right? Everything he's doing here is bullshit, right? I'm just going to be straight with you guys. As you come into the stream, understand something about Ringo TV, right? I don't got no time to play games with you guys, right? Now, I want you to think about something. He's here praying to God, right? Right? But he's paying people. He says, I'm offering you $50,000 to tell me who did it, who did this, who did that. Tyler Perry says, you know what? I'm going to throw in another $50,000 for you guys to provide something for us so that we could arrest somebody. But he's praying to God. I want that to register. Now, I'll give it a little moment for you to, I'll give you a little time to think about what I just finished saying. I think that was enough time, right? Okay, so now he offers humans $50,000, Tala, $50,000, $100,000 reward for anybody that can solve a crime with no witnesses, no evidence, no nothing. But Al Sharpton is praying to God. Wouldn't God know? If Al is such a reverend, shouldn't he be able to just ask God who did it? This is why it's bullshit. But of course, you're going to believe anything because you've been trained to believe anything. I just make sense of things. And what I'm seeing here, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. This is all a show for the public so that he could look like a good old reverend. It's just like when you look at these YouTube platforms and you see women doing tarot card readings, talking about we're hearing from spirit concerning Nolan. All of that is bull crap. They ain't hearing nothing. They're just trying to keep you emotionally invested. That's why I said you need to wake up, because they're turning you into an NPC. A lot of you have been turned into NPCs and don't even know it. Let's get back at the tape. Let's go. Hit the like button.
This, and to seek what is required of this at this hour. Look on his family, his mother, his father, his siblings, and all of his blood relatives that long after the cameras are gone, long after the crowds stop coming by, they will bear the burden of an empty chair in the house. They will bear the burden of memories that will not ever leave them, and give them the strength to find some meaning, and give them the memory of the joys that he brought them, and wipe away their tears from.
Do you see what I mean by this is bullshit, guys? And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm trying to show you guys to wake up. Wake up and stop being dumbed down by religion. Think about what this man is saying. He's talking to God, saying to wipe away tears, do this, do that. But he's not saying, hey, God, could you tell us who killed this kid? It would clear everything up, right? That's how I'm trying to show you guys that everything you see that man is doing is bullshit. That's what it is. Because if he got this connection to God, surely God would know what happened, right? And we could just wrap this up. He's busy asking God for stuff that makes no sense, rather than just getting down to the nitty gritty. Wouldn't you agree? This is why when you go to these churches, these pastors are always lying to you. Think about this, guys. Why is it that the pastor is rich and the congregation is poor? Go to any church. The pastor is rich. Congregation, poor. Why? Because they're stupid. They believe what that man tells them. The man says, give me all your money. Because when you give me your money, you're giving it to God. And they do it. Because they're NPCs. They're programmed to do that. And when someone like me comes along and try to wake them up, they get angry with me. You know, like the Matrix. Remember, I believe it was it Cypher? The guy that wanted to go back into the Matrix. He was speaking to Agent Smith. He was like, hey, plug me back in. I don't want to remember anything. I don't want to remember nothing. That's how a lot of you are. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want the truth. The truth is uncomfortable. To know that this family lied to you guys. I'm talking about this family lied. They spread rumors. They got everybody enraged. They used race. They hired a so-called civil rights leader civil rights attorney, Ben Crump, who is a race hustler, right? Al Sharpton, a pulpit pimp. They only come out when it's time to dance for the cameras to divide the nation. Anytime these two join together, they push racism. They're the race hustlers. They're the ones who create rage bait. I never trusted Al Sharpton. Never. I always knew that he was a rage baiter, race hustler. You understand? Christine is a Filipino. She is not an African American. I keep telling you guys this. You keep painting this woman as a black woman when she and her whole family is Filipino. You understand? Her daddy's father is a white man. Her daddy is not even African American. He's most likely Samoan or Filipino himself. I already did all the research. People stay mad at me because I'm intelligent and I use my brain. I'm not falling for the grift. All you got to do is just look at the bloodline, the lineage. This story, they wanted to use black people. And I'm going to tell you why. Remember what happened with the Asian guy that shot the young brother? I believe his name is Cyrus. Cyrus, right? Shot him in the back. Accused him of stealing water that he never stole. And remember, black people was like, we're boycotting. We're going to boycott. Everybody's doing the boycott? Yeah, we're boycotting Asian businesses. That didn't last long. Powers that be said, throw this story out there. We'll get them. They'll forget about it. Like clockwork. Black people got off code and then went and give all their money. In other words, the money that the Asian businesses lost, black people gave it to them. You gave the community back the money. That's what you did. Do you see that, guys? They made black folk forget about their protests so that they could join a cause that don't even connect with them. And I'm not saying that because Christine is Filipino that her son's life don't matter. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, guys, is this, because people misunderstand me all the time. I got respect for all nationalities of people because I'm not a racist. But one thing we're not going to do is we're not going to let Filipinos act like they're so-called African Americans. Notice I said so-called because that's what they call black people. They call the descendants of slaves, the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, they call them African Americans. We didn't call ourselves that. That's what they do. When you go fill out a job applications, what do they call you? African American. It's on the damn contract. Right? Or it just says white, black. Black is not a nationality. Black is not an ethnic group. That's a crayon color. That's what they put on you. Because black Americans don't know who they are. They don't study the Bible. Remember that book that you call the white man book, but really is your history book? You don't study it. So you don't understand lineage. You don't understand bloodline. But when you look at this family, they painted this family to be the perfect black family. You have a black man who is a stepdaddy, not the biological father of Nolan. At no point during this entire funeral did you hear that man stand up and say, when Nolan was born, or a pregnant photo of Christine with Nolan. A photo of Mr. Wansley holding baby Nolan. What you saw is a photo of Mr. Mousley, I think it's Wansley, right? You saw a photo of him holding his newborn baby while Nolan was a little boy. You ain't hear nothing in that funeral service of that man saying, when my son Nolan was born, I was so excited to have a son. You ain't hear that not one time. Because that's not his biological father. Did Christine come out and tell us that? No, because they needed to sell you the image of black man. So Nolan must be black. Nolan is Filipino. Nolan is a Filipino. He's not a so-called African American. Nope. All week, people been trying to attack me about this situation. And I kept on proving my case over and over, guys. More and more and more. Because they won't listen. I went and I looked up their lineage, their family tree, all the way down to Christine's father. He's not even a so-called African American. People look at skin complexion and they figure, oh, you're black. Okay, was Bob Marley black? Was Bob Marley a black man? Because his father was white. And some of y'all would say, what does all of this stuff have to do with anything? Have everything to do with it. Because you're deceived. You were just protesting against Asian businesses. You were just protesting because the Asian man killed young Cyrus. But y'all forgot about that. Y'all forgot about the young kid that was unalive and falsely accused of stealing water. And he never took nothing. And all your money went back into this family. Now they're rich. Not only did they get their funeral paid for by Tyler Perry, but their independent autopsy was paid for by Colin Kaepernick. But guess what, guys? They didn't give us the results of the autopsy. I wonder why. You know why? Because those results will tell us that there was no foul play and that Nolan had something in his system. Either drugs, either alcohol, or it was just a freak accident. Keep in mind, guys, keep in mind, these kids, or should I say teenagers, were at an island, right? Nobody had life jackets. Nobody thought of safety first. Nobody's thinking about this. Watch this. I blame the death of Nolan Wells on his father and his mother, stepdaddy and his mother. I blame them too. Because as parents, if you know your son is going to celebrate 4th of July and he's going to be on some island, you would tell your boy, bro, make sure you wear a life jacket just to be on the safe side, son. Matter of fact, I don't think you should be there. Not at those hours in the morning. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you should come home. Because I sure enough wouldn't have my kids hanging out with nobody at no hours in the night, no time, nowhere. You understand? I wouldn't even do that. I have no interest in the nightlife. None. If you want to die, hang out with a group of people. If you want to die. How many of y'all ever see these events where you see these car shows and people are doing drifting and they're doing all of these stunts and doing donuts and all this other stuff and people get killed? They're just attending, they're spectators, but they end up getting run over by cars. I seen one particular video that happened recently of a young lady that was in the car. She fell out the car, fell on the ground. The car kept doing donuts, ran her over, crushing her, and then ran her over again and kept repeating it. That's what happens when you hang out in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I blame the parents for Nolan Wells' death. I believe that this death was a ritual, a Masonic ritual. I have not till this day seen this woman cry and shed tears. Everything she do in terms of making these expressions is for the cameras. Some of you would say, Ringo, you're being insensitive. No, I'm not. I'm being smart. Because I'm a content creator and I'm truthful. And I've seen these stories many times. And I'm tired of grifters and liars. Wherever you see Al Sharpton and Ben Crump, trust and believe everybody involved is a grifter. Everyone that's involved is up to no good. Now, let's get back into the content. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We have a lot to cover. A lot to cover, guys. I'm gonna probably be here all the way to the morning. It all depends. But and when I say morning, we're in the next day already. But I mean like when the sun come up. But let's get into the content. Let's break it down.
Their eyes, so that they can see and be what he would want them to be at this hour. We don't have words or anything we could give, but you have the strength and the power to hold them up. And we ask for that strength today. And look down here in Mississippi today and let us pursue justice. Whatever the situations are that led to this, let every stone be rolled back and every veil be torn asunder. And let truth pop out of the ground like a flower. And let justice flow down like a water. And mercy like a mighty stream. These blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
Notice something about this devil named Al Sharpton. Could anybody find the fault? Could anybody put it in the live chat of what I'm thinking? Could anybody? I'm telepathically sending the info. Did anybody notice something? And I'm talking about those that are sound in the truth. Did anybody notice something strange about that prayer? Anybody? Nobody, right? Of course, we do this all the time. Nobody never thinks. Al Sharpton never mentioned the name Jesus. You know why? Because at the sound of the name of Jesus, demons tremble. He didn't start off his prayer. He didn't mention Jesus at all. Why? Because there's a devil in him. These are the key things that you got to peep when you look at these pimps in the pulpit. Let's get back into content.
Let me first give honor to the pastor who has been so wonderful in allowing us to be here today.
He's given honor to the pastor, but he gave no honor to Jesus.
Senior Pastor Pagel and Executive Pastor Brownsville. Reverend R.D. Holmes, who heads National Action Network in Tallahassee.
Do you see how they just promoted National Action Network or whatever? That's what this is about, guys. Promotion. That's all this is about. Promoting self.
Came all the way from Tallahassee, Florida, and to some of those, there you are, I'm looking for you, you did the scripture. Some of those that came to just give strength to the family. We honored, flew all the way from New York with me this morning. Spike Lee is with us.
Think about this, guys. Spike Lee is in the building too. This is a Freemason ritual. Nolan Wells was a blood sacrifice for the industry. Somebody offered him up. I don't know. I don't know why. But in the industry, they offer up bodies. A soul have to be paid in order for them to stay successful and gain wealth. And Nolan was the offering. Why are these celebrities here? Why these celebrities that are at Nolan Wells' funeral, how come they're not at the funeral? Or should I say, how or why they're not supporting the family of Akin Liverpool? The black man that died, that drowned, that fell off a boat while hanging out with his black friends. How come these celebrities are not focused on that? Why would Spike Lee take time out of his schedule to go there? Why would all these celebrities be there, guys? You got to think. What makes Nolan so special? This is a special kind of death. This is the kind of death that celebrities cannot miss. Y'all better use your brains and start to think about why these people are here. Why would they take time out of their busy schedule to be here, to be there at that funeral place for a kid they don't even know? When people die every single day. But for some reason, we need to be here. And keep in mind, the black community is blaming white people. They're blaming white people for Nolan's death. They keep saying, Mississippi, Mississippi, the white man, the white man. But those were Nolan friends, you forgot? Nolan didn't go to some sundown town. Nolan was hanging with his friends, his buddies that he grew up with. Buddies that he went to that island many times with and came home. And they never harmed him. But for some reason, Al Sharpton and Crump been rage baiting the black community to the point where black folk want blood. They want somebody white to pay for Nolan's death. The family can't accept that it was a freak accident. But you guys gave them $800,000. When I tell you the black community are the most easy people to deceive, you can manipulate them very easy. All you got to do is just play on their emotions, make them feel like they're a part of a movement, and they'll join. They'll join and they'll give all their money. Just like in church. You wondering why a pastor can be a multimillionaire and everybody that's coming to his church is dirt poor. And they don't got a problem with the pastor being rich. And the pastor never says, hey, you know what? Let me pay everybody's rent in the church since I got all this money. No, you keep giving them all your money. Go to any predominantly black Christian church. The pastor is always rich and the congregation is poor. And he keep asking you for your money. Bring ye all the tithes to the storehouse. Not realizing that the tithes, according to the Bible, had nothing to do with money. It was food. That's why the Bible says that I may have meat in mine house, not money. But because people don't read, they don't study, and they don't use their brain, they get deceived by these wolves in sheep's clothing. And that's what's happening right now. So as we look at this particular case, guys, I need you to pay attention, pay close attention, because nobody on YouTube is going to break down this funeral like Ringo TV. Nobody. Everybody else is race hustling, rage baiting, and just using Nolan Wells to get paid. You got platforms out here that are literally rage baiting maximum, getting rich overnight. Let me give you a little example of this. I think I have a screenshot of one particular YouTuber that been clickbaiting people like crazy to the point where he probably made $30,000 in 1 month, like literally. Let me see if I can find it. I think I got it, so bear with me. Let me see if I can scroll through all of this mess on my desktop, see if I can find it. Let me see, because I want to show you guys what race hustling look like. Because a lot of y'all, when I do my content, y'all think I'm rich, like I'm getting paid, like I'm making all this money. I don't get no views. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't get views because I'm speaking the truth. But this guy was grifting when, what's this woman that got killed? What's her name, fam? The black lady that got killed and she was with the white guy. I got a bunch of videos I got to make. I got so many damn names in my brain, I can't even think of her name. But let me show you this, guys. Let me show you what race hustling look like so you guys can see. Now, this particular YouTuber name is Trent. He's a race hustler, a grifter. Look at the views. Yeah, Ashley Janae. Look at the views here. 11 hours ago, right? 208 and what is this? 213,000 views for this one video. Next video, 291,000 views. 154 views. 267,000 views. 553,000 views. 280,000 views. 390 something thousand views. Then it goes down to 55 and 91. All of this out of grifting. Notice his titles. Nolan Wells was on drugs. New audio. Carmelo Anthony, new trial. Clickbait. Everybody's rushing in. Everybody's rushing in. Next video title. Nolan Wells' phone was deleted. That's a lie. That's a lie that the mother started. The mother never said the phone was deleted. The mother said that she believed things were deleted. There's no proof that anything was deleted. She's the one who started that vicious rumor, guys. Another video title, Nolan Wells' friends will be arrested. That's a lie. Because nobody was charged with anything. This is all clickbait. Another video, Nolan Wells' friends faces 20 years in jail. Guys, these are nothing but lies. Nothing but lies. Are y'all seeing that? Another video title. Nolan Wells was alive July 5th. Guys, that's a lie. He died on the 4th of July. It goes on. Another title. Nolan Wells' friends paid off. That's a lie. How did that YouTuber know somebody was paid off? That's a lie. Another title. Nolan Wells' friends caught lying. That's a lie. Another title, Nolan Wells autopsy scandal. Lie. No autopsy been given. Another one, Nolan Wells judge demands arrest. Lies. Everything is a lie. Are y'all seeing that? And those YouTubers are rewarded with a lot of money. A lot. Congratulations, Trent. You did it. Congratulations. I hope the money is worth it. But I'm trying to show you this, guys, so that you can understand what it looks like when you get views. This is views. What I get is pennies. So please don't tell me that I'm making a bunch of money when I don't make nothing when I do my content about Nolan Wells. Because number one, I'm not here fighting for justice for Nolan Wells. I'm against his family because they're grifters. So surely I'm not going to receive any love. People going to hate me because I'm not emotionally connected to these stories like you. Once I see a family grifting and they're focusing on making money, I got to go. I can't deal with that. I'm going to call them out. You know? But I wanted you to see that because the reason why that YouTuber made about $30,000 this month is because of you. Because of you. You did that. Because every video they made is packed with nothing but lies. There's no truth in none of his videos. I already looked. There's no truth. It's all lies. But you love lies. Right? So let's get back to the content. Let me do this and we could get back into it. Let's go.
And the one and only T.O. Terrell Owens wanted to be here with the family. In fact, if you look to your right, everybody look to your right, Shake hands with that person because you are Elmer and Christian special guest. Everybody, shake hands with the person to your right. So you can't say you were not special from the family. Everybody here. Before I start the eulogy, I want us to hear from the mother and father of Nolan.
See, I don't like that, guys. He's supposed to say stepfather. Do you see what I mean? It confuses us. Well, it confuses you guys, not me. I already did the research. Let's go.
Because they are the ones that bear the burden, the pain.
You see, the burden, the pain, that's what they sell you. Burdens and pain. That's what they're selling you guys. There is no pain. Nolan died on the 4th, guys. The 4th. And he wasn't buried till the 20th, guys. So his body was just sitting around somewhere. That's sick.
And the will to go forward to make his name stand for what it should stand for. And I want us to hear their words. Many of us have different emotions, but no one's emotion should override the emotions of the mother and father. We are here to stand with them.
Do you see? It's all emotional, guys. See, here's the thing. I got to keep repeating myself because I know how people think. I'm not being insensitive, guys. We live in a world where evil people are doing things right in our faces. And they know how to set things up where the natural thing to do is to join with them and be supportive. That's the normal thing to do, right? No, it's not. When people are wrong, they're wrong, guys. This family lied to us. The mother lied. They lied about so many different things. I got so many videos I got to do, guys. You know, it was the mother that started the rumor that, oh, somebody deleted something from Nolan's phone. Guys, that's a lie. His friends don't have access to his passwords. The mother said that when she got a hold of the phone, that she immediately went to Snapchat. Why would she go to Snapchat? And how she got access to the phone? How she know his information? Because she have access to the body. And she went to the phone and she said in her own words, guys, that she believed something was deleted. And what did social media do? They ran with her words and turned it into a new narrative. And then added onto it by saying that Nolan's friends deleted images and text from the phone. It started with the mother. She never guaranteed or said, I checked and I can confirm that this and that was deleted. She never did. She just believed that something was deleted. That's dangerous to say. But she knew what she was doing. Because she knew the rage bait would make people get upset. Like, wait a minute. They had Nolan's phone. That's wrong. Not realizing that when you're on an island, when you're in the water, who swims with their cell phone and their keys? If any of you ever been on a boat ride or a boat trip or anything of that sort, and you know you're going to be in the water, all these phones and all this other stuff, it goes into a bucket. Put them all in a bucket, put it on the side right there, boom, boom, boom. Because if you go out at sea with it, you're going to lose your phone, you're going to lose your keys. That's why his phone was on the boat. There's no internet on the island, guys. So it's not like somebody's live streaming. I live in a rural area. Internet it's bad. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like how it was when I was in New York. New York got the best internet ever. You know what I'm saying? Out here, oh my goodness. If I try to go outside with my cell phone or even go certain places, I probably won't even get a signal. You know? So when you think about Nolan, him leaving his phone or his friends holding on to his phone, that's what a friend is supposed to do. If a friend know that you're missing, their job is to hold on the phone because the phone was on the boat. We're not going to leave it there. But what did the YouTubers, the grifters do? They went around saying, well, they never contacted the mother so that they could give her back the phone. First of all, how do you know they know who she is? How do you know that they know? Have that been confirmed that they know who they are? Because with the way I see the story, they don't know. Because it was, I believe, the mom who mentioned that some other woman was able to go get the phone. And the so-called stepdaddy went to somebody else's house to go get the keys so they could get into his car. So his car was at that person's house and they had trouble getting the keys. And they tried to make it seem like the guy didn't want to give the keys. He didn't know where the keys was. It took another young lady that overheard the conversation to say, oh, the keys is on top the Xbox or on top somewhere. If they were hiding it, that young lady would have never said where the keys were. That family been blowing everything out of proportion to make it look like those kids were hiding something. Those kids are innocent, guys. Those kids are innocent. Those are his buddies, his friends. And because they're white, they're being targeted by blacks. I'm the only YouTuber that is the voice of reason. Everybody else is out here lying to people for money. Lying. And if I wanted to lie, guys, I could get these kind of views if I lie. But I'm not a liar. There's a special place in hell for people that lie like this for money. Money don't last long, guys. You can have money today and tomorrow is gone. Or you just never be happy. It's not worth it. Let's get back to the content, guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's go.
This is their child. And you can't be more angry or hurt.
You see? Angry or hurt. That's what they want us to be, guys. They want black people angry with white people. They want us to be angry with white people.
Or burdened than them. So don't outrun them. Let's stand and uphold them.
You heard that? Let's not outrun them, meaning don't be more angry than them. We want you to be angry, but don't be more angry than them. Let's uphold them. They're using your energy, guys. This is a destiny swap, an energy harvest. I keep telling you guys, this is a ritual funeral.
At this hour of grief, let me ask them to come and give a few words. The mother and father, Elmore and Christine.
Now be prepared, guys, because I'm breaking this thing all the way down. This woman is an actor. She's an actor. Do you understand me, guys? She is an actress, and that man, Mr. Wansley, whatever his name is, he's an actor too. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler Perry is going to be working on a story for Nolan Wells. I wouldn't be surprised.
First, I want to give all thanks and honor and glory to God for choosing Elmore and me to be Nolan's parents. We thank you, Lord, for the beautiful 18 years that you blessed us with him.
You know, I got to pause it there. We got to rewind that back.
First, I want to give all thanks and honor and glory to God for choosing Elmore and me to be Nolan's parents.
Choosing Elmore and me to be Nolan's parents. Sounds like adoption to me. Sounds like adoption to me.
We thank you, Lord,
Here come the fake crying, guys.
for the beautiful 18 years
Let me see if I could zoom in. Let me see if I could do that. Because you got to see this, guys. When I tell you these folks are actors, they are acting. Acting.
that you blessed us with him. Thank you for the joy he brought not only to our family, but also to his friends and everyone in the community whose lives he touched. Nolan had such a gentle, calming spirit about him. He had a way of making people feel seen, welcome, and valued. He could lift your confidence with just a few words and make you feel like you belonged. If you ever had the privilege of meeting our son Nolan or calling him a friend, then you experienced a glimpse of God's love through him. He was both protective and nurturing. He often told us that one day he wanted to have 3 daughters that he would name Sophia, Charlotte, and Olivia.
Guys, this lady is reading a script. Nothing is coming from the heart. You know, when my mom passed away due to cancer, I never had a script when I was at the funeral. I got up there and I spoke from the heart, straight. Why this woman has a script? You need a script to speak about your son?
He had a deep love for the Lord and an unwavering faith that was evident in the way he lived his life.
Again, we don't know nothing about this kid. What do you mean he had an unwavering faith in the Lord? Because that's another thing. When people die, we automatically think they just went to heaven somewhere. We don't know this kid's faith. We don't know nothing about this kid or his final destination. We don't know. But she's painting this picture like he's with the Lord now. She's all emotional to get viewers invested. But there's no tears, guys. No tears are flowing.
As much as our hearts are broken, we find peace in knowing that our son is resting in the arms of the Lord.
Nobody is resting in the arms of the Lord, guys. No one. Anybody that died in the past or whatever, nobody's resting in no arm of the Lord. Nobody. Nobody's in heaven. This is what I mean about you have to study the Bible, because people are religious, guys. They're religious. Nobody's in heaven. It's a lie. The dead in Christ didn't even raise yet. What are you talking about in the arms of the Lord? This is to make you emotional, guys. I'm so glad I'm not caught up in this mess, bro. I am not emotional like most folks, bro. Y'all be investing in these cases and y'all get so emotional, but you don't even visit your own family. How many of y'all visit your family this week? How many of you call your cousins? Call your mama, call your dad, call your sister. Hey, how you doing? Hey, you good? Hey, I could come over and maybe we can hang out. You don't even call your family. But you are emotional over this. Make that make sense. Make it make sense.
We will miss everything about him, from his quiet nature to the corny jokes, his gentle smile.
She's laughing, guys. She's laughing.
The way he made everyone around him feel comfortable, loved, and at ease. Your absence has left an emptiness that can never truly be filled. A piece of our hearts will always be missing. Nolan, your father and I are incredibly proud of you. We've always been proud of you, of the young man you were, and we will always be proud of the legacy of love, kindness, and faith that you have left behind.
None of this is coming from her heart, guys. It's all fake. It's a script. It's a script, guys. ChatGPT. Tyler Perry probably put the script together. No mother should be up there reading a script for their son. You're supposed to be able to speak from the heart. That's why I don't believe none of this stuff. That's why I'm not riding with this family, fam. You could get mad at me. You could do whatever you want. At the end of the day, I'm speaking the truth, guys. And you know good and well that this is the truth that I'm speaking. How many of you lost a mother? Were you up there reading a script when you went to the funeral? No, you spoke from the heart. You understand? She's not speaking from the heart. She's not. She's reading a script. And most times, somebody else wrote the script for her.
In a world that can often feel dark, be like Nolan.
You could tell somebody wrote this for her, guys. The wording, it's not her way. It's not the way she talk.
Be the light that brightens the lives of those around you. Be the warmth for those who may be feeling the coldness of the world. Love deeply, protect fiercely, and welcome others with kindness. And remain faithful knowing that God is always with you. Lastly, I ask that each of you keep Nolan's memory alive. Hold him close in your hearts. Share his stories and never stop saying his name. As long as we continue to remember him.
Let me give you guys an understanding about videography. All right. I'm into film production and I understand camera angles. If you think about this, right? They're trying to create an emotional high. They're trying to make you feel the emotional energy. Similar when you're watching a film and there's a scene that someone lost a life or whatever the case is, you're supposed to feel their loss. You watch movies, somebody died. For example, the movie Ghosts. Remember the guy that was in a relationship with the woman? He ended up getting killed by the guy that tried to rob them. And the movie have certain scenes that will get you emotional, certain camera angles. Well, I want you to think about what you're seeing here. When the camera switch like this, it's designed to give you an image of a mother that's breaking down. You would assume that she's pouring tears out her eyes, but nothing is flowing out her eyes. But it gives you that illusion with the way Al Sharpton is there like, man, she's in so much pain. We really need to be behind this family during this dark, dark time. But really, all of this is an act. All of it.
His light will continue to shine through us all.
His light will continue to shine through us all. Us. I don't know that kid. So his light is not with me. I don't agree with none of that. I don't like the way she's talking about light shine with all of us. No. This is an act, guys. Why the camera is not on her close up? Because she's not crying, guys. She's not shedding no tears.
Nolan, we love you. We'll continue to fight for you.
Yeah, shout out to Miss G for the $20 support. This reminds me of the funeral of Takeoff. Yes. Yep. His family read from a script. Same thing. Those of you that remember, I believe I covered the rapper Takeoff's funeral because I covered the entire case with rapper Takeoff. When he got killed, it was a blood sacrifice ritual. And I covered that particular entire case. Matter of fact, me covering that case, that's what blew my channel up. It was that case and the Stephen Twitch boss and Shanquella Robinson case. Those three cases blew up my channel. You know, mainly the rapper Takeoff case. I did the best job on YouTube. Nobody else did a better job breaking down that case. But they were at the funeral and everybody was reading a script. And it was just like this. It was just like this, guys. Quiet, everybody in black, just like this. Look at how that woman look. Does she look like she's shedding tears? She's not shedding no tears, guys. The thing that I need for you guys to do is stop getting in your feelings, man. That's how they get you. That's the griff.
And until we meet again, and thank you all for coming. Thank you.
There's no tears. And then Ben Crump was the one who started clapping first in order to get everybody else to start clapping. There's no tears, guys. The camera should be right on her face at that moment. But she's not crying, guys. That's an emotional maneuver to get everybody so invested. Like, oh, it's so sad. I mean, my condolences. And you're hurting for her. And she's laughing all the way to the bank.
You guys gotta excuse me.
Think about this, guys. Here's another fun fact. Normally, when women are crying, somebody hands her a napkin. Right? Isn't that what they normally do when a woman is crying? Somebody, see, they forgot that. Normally, when a woman is crying, they hand her a napkin, handkerchief, something, so she could go like this. Did you see any of that? No, because she was not crying. She was not crying. Now watch this other actor. Watch this.
I might be kind of all over the place a little, but just from first of all, I want to say out of all my kids, Nolan was the one that would crawl backwards on the regular. Like,
now she's laughing, guys. Wait a minute. Now she's laughing, guys.
Babies crawl forward, he would crawl backwards. And he had this.
Guys, you got to conclude that something is wrong. And please don't give me that garbage about, well, people grieve differently. I don't want to hear that garbage. I wasn't laughing at my mom's funeral. I was crying. They're laughing. This is not funny, guys.
Crazy haircut that I just, I don't know. You had to see it to know him. But I want to start off by saying how proud I am of you, my son.
Notice he never says, from the day you were born, I was so happy to be a father. Because he's not the biological father. I'm the only one on YouTube, guys, that shared this information. Nobody else did. That man is a stepdaddy. Stepdaddy. That's not his son. He's a stepdad. Because the way a father is supposed to approach this is, number one, from the day you were born, I was so happy to have my first son. Or you would have seen baby photos of Nolan when he was born, when the mother was pregnant. You would have seen that in the opening scene of this funeral. They didn't show no photos of Nolan as a baby. None. Because this man is not the father. That's why they made the mother do most of the talking.
You grew up to be a very young man that everyone enjoyed to be around. The constant lectures from me about having character, self-respect, self-discipline, and perseverance really hit home with you at an early age.
And he's wearing dark shades, guys. Another sign of the griff. Why? Why he's wearing dark shades? Because if he took those shades off and you see his eyes, you would know he's lying. So they told him, wear the shades because you're giving it away.
These were the things that I had to live through to really be able to pass down to you and your siblings.
And your siblings, step brothers, step sisters.
I remember when you first asked to play basketball, and I admit I was kind of worried because you never picked up a basketball, you never shot one.
Yeah, it is a ritual. Definitely a ritual. This is a ritual. Maybe this guy sacrificed him. Somebody sacrificed this kid. You understand? Somebody sacrificed him because everybody's laughing and giggling. This is a joke to everybody. You see? Let's go.
We didn't have a actual basketball goal. The only thing we had was that Walmart special.
She's busting out laughing, guys. This is supposed to be a funeral, right?
The little plastic one that everybody breaks in the first few days. But on that first day of tryouts, you shocked me and your mom. And just to make a long story short, you, Jalen, and Javon won y'all first championship together.
Notice every time they clap, it's Ben Crump who starts clapping first, and then, like NPCs, everybody follows suit. Meaning nobody was going to clap until Ben Crump started to clap. Once you see stuff like that, guys, people are programmed NPCs.
Middle school was even more exciting because you would not.
Okay, you heard him take that breath, right? This is where he's going to now do his theatrics of acting like he's breaking down. Let's go.
Not just making a name for yourself on the football field, the basketball court, and the baseball diamond, but you were also laying the groundwork for your little brother Elmore. I nicknamed you Mr. Cool Hands because it seemed like you was catching a touchdown every game. You wanted to be the best.
Notice how the camera switched. Remember what I told you about camera angles? The camera was on the front, and now it switched to the side the way they did with the wife.
So
now everybody's putting their hands on him like he's breaking down, like he's just crying, and he's just no. This is all staged.
All my knowledge into you that I could by taking you to the gym to work out, taking you to the beach to do drills in the sand.
His hand keeps shaking. Guys, this is staged acting. I wouldn't be surprised if these people are working with Tyler Perry, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if these two had some sort of acting classes and so forth. This is staged. I don't care what nobody say.
Teaching you how to watch film, how to study your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. And you carried these teachings all the way through high school and had an amazing run. Also during that time, you made a lot of friends. You helped a lot of people and you became well liked by many. It really warmed me and your mother's heart when we would get a phone call or an email from a teacher talking about something that you did for a fellow student. All the teachers love Nolan.
They're all reading a script, guys. Y'all don't see this? And he's reading the script with shades on. So let me get this straight. So a mother and a stepdad are both reading a script for their supposed son's funeral. I want y'all to really think about what you're witnessing. Both of them need scripts? Oh, I know. Because they have to make sure it's perfect. So the spell can remain on the viewer. So the money could continue to come in.
The day you came home from college, you came in the room and you asked me about training. You would always ask us or always tell us about things that you want to do for us. When you signed with a school, you want to do this and take me and your mother there. And I would always tell you that, son, you need to take it one day at a time. During this time, you trained, you worked out, the bond with your younger siblings grew stronger because
Your younger siblings. Guys, the wording, your younger siblings. Guys, that's not his son. All we got to do is just have an understanding of basic English. Your younger siblings, who talk like that? You mean your stepbrothers and stepsisters? Because Nolan is not his son. I am 100% right. That man is not the father. A father would be speaking from the heart. Do you understand? The heart. Not from a script. Because you would remember all the things you and your son did. A father can remember when his child was born all the way till today. Those of you that are real parents, you remember the day your children were born all the way till today. You don't need to write nothing down. It's in your brain. You remember the good times, the bad times, hospital visits, sporting events, taking to school. You remember everything. So when I look at this family, when I see them reading scripts, this is staged. This is fake.
they looked up to you for motivation, especially your younger brother, which played the same position that you did. You guys' competition, Cannon, Nolan loves you, and he wanted you to do just as good as he did. Ethan, the same way. Even though you weren't a receiver, he wanted you to do great things.
Back to the laughing again. This is sick, guys. Let me see. Miss G says, I remember when you broke down Takeoff's case years ago. There's no tears. Wait, there's no tears. No Nolan. 100%. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Let me see. Shout out to Jay Wash. Says, no one cries for real at a funeral with dark shades on. Crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like everything about this video is sick. He looked weird standing there with shades on and everybody else is regular. It's like, what are you hiding? Why are you hiding your face? It's like, what kind of satanic ritual is going on where this man can't show his eyes? Come on now. He's hiding something.
Carly, Jaden, with you guys being the oldest, he wanted the best for you guys. And I know that he would have did anything he could to make you guys happy. I just want to say thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for coming out and celebrating our son. Nolan meant a lot to a lot of people. And today it just shows us how much he meant to the community, to the country, and to the world.
Meant to the community and the country. What? We don't know Nolan. What is he talking about? Guys, this is what Tyler Perry paid for? So where did $800,000 go if Tyler Perry paid for the funeral? It goes into their pockets, guys. Do you see how they use their son's death to get rich? You know what's $800,000 added to your account? And they didn't even do anything with the money, guys. Because a lot of y'all keep thinking that the money is for legal fees, attorney fees. Crump ain't getting nothing. Do you know how the process goes, guys? Is somebody on trial? Have an arrest been made? Are they in court? No. So when you think like all that money is going into his pocket, no, that money is in their pocket. That money going back to the Philippines. That money is going to help take care of her family in the Philippines. They're going to be good now.
Thank you guys again for coming out. We appreciate it.
Can we have all of his sisters and brothers to stand? Give the family your love.
And another thing, another fun fact. Have you noticed that? Okay, with everything that they were saying, you notice they didn't mention Tyler Perry. They didn't mention Colin Kaepernick. They didn't mention nothing. They didn't even say anything. They were just reading that script. Because that's all they wanted them to do is read the script so that it could go through the microphone and get into your ears so it could program you to continually feel sorry for them and give more money. That's what it's designed for. All that secrecy, whispering in each other's ears and all that type of stuff, guys, this is crazy. And it gets worse. It gets worse as it goes on.
James Wellborn is here, the father of Sonia Massey. We appreciate him being here.
Notice, father of Sonia Massey. Father of Sonia Massey. Why are they telling us? To remind you of what happened to her. Remember? So you could get angry with white people. The father of Sonia Massey is here. Do we need to know that, guys? Be honest. Why are they telling you? So it could remind you of what the white cop did to the black woman to get you angry again. Let's go.
When I was called about what happened to Nolan, and as the days went on, the parents came to our Harlem headquarters of National Action Network and told the story as they knew it at that time. Attorney Ben Crump, who I call the Attorney General of Black America.
The Attorney General of Black America. He crowned Ben Crump the Attorney General of Black America.
Began looking into this situation. And since then, every day, I have thought about what this means and what it could mean. And a lot of what this could mean, it could be the healing or it could be the poking of the wound. That's going to be decided by what we do. The senior pastor of this church had the courage of his faith to open the doors of this church and let this family funeralize him.
He didn't just open the doors. Remember Tyler Perry? You know, he paid.
Even though he knows that some, I'm sure in the city, would wonder why he would even do that.
For money. For money. That's why. Money.
And the dividing of our children of God is something that we have to get over. One of the things that I'm glad to see is that there are people of all races at this funeral. and they're people of all ages. All whites are not a racist, and all blacks are not angry. Somewhere in the middle, we've got to meet and find what is just and fair.
You see, this is what I mean about gaslighting. This guy want black people to hate white people. That's his goal. You understand? So because he sees some white people at the funeral, he's trying to gaslight them like, yeah, you know, we're you know, not all of y'all are racist, but you know, you guys, the only reason why you connected with this family is because you want to go after white people, because you make everything a race issue. You know, no suspects, nobody been arrested, no clues, no evidence, no video footage, no surveillance, no DNA, no hair follicles, nothing, no foul play, nothing. But the family says, you know what? Out of all attorneys, let's get Ben Crump. Let's get a civil rights attorney because we want to make it a race issue. Our civil rights been violated. Matter of fact, the civil rights of Nolan. We need a civil rights attorney. Once they got Crump, we already know where that's going to go. Blaming of white people. Mississippi? Oh, yeah. Let's paint it on the headlines. The racist white people. They killed this poor black kid. Even though he's not black, he's Filipino. Let's go.
And that is why we want to celebrate Nolan and at the same time say we want a full and thorough investigation.
What? So they're using the platform of this service to rally the people. That's what they're doing, guys. We need a full investigation. Investigation of what? He's dead. What are you investigating?
We don't want nothing sugar-coated either way. But for an 18-year-old young man to no longer be with us, we want answers.
I got answers. He drowned. He was most likely drunk and or had an accident while out there. You guys haven't provided the autopsy results yet. You talking about answers? Where's the autopsy? No autopsy? What's going on? Why the secrecy? Come on now. They hide in the truth, guys. They don't want the people to know.
Not biased either way, just answers. And I think that for the family, the closure can come if there is justice.
He's trying to force justice, and it makes no sense. How could there be justice if you keep forcing something that's not there? You guys are chasing a ghost. You're accusing Nolan's friends. These are young guys with their whole life ahead of them. And it's like, because they're white, you want to accuse them of killing this kid. That's wrong. That's wrong, guys. You shouldn't be accusing people with no evidence.
We will see where it goes. Some have prejudged. I do not think that it is appropriate for either side of opinions to prevail without a backup and fair investigation.
Look at social media. It's a mess right now with all these YouTubers and influencers. They're just spreading a bunch of lies and accusing white people, dividing the community, causing a race war. That's what they're doing right now on social media for money. YouTubers have no integrity. None. Anything for $1. I'm the only platform that's speaking the truth, guys, in regards to this case. Everybody else are grifters. Like I said, guys, if you want to know what a grifter is, look at this. This is a grifter channel. Grifter channels make all the money. You see the views? So please don't tell me I'm a grifter, guys. Please understand what a grifter means. 213,000 views, 291,000 views, 154,000 views. You see that? 280,000 views, 553,000 views, 267,000 views. And it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Guys, do you know how much money is earned with just these videos? You know how much money? You know what kind of check that YouTuber getting right there? That's a new car. Just these videos alone. New car. Let me see. 5, 10, 15, 20. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You got probably 40,000. Probably about $40,000. Easy. Just like that. Off of lying. And all those videos are clickbait. Nothing but misinformation and lies. And the sad thing is, folks reward that garbage. You know? And it's sick. I can't stand it. I can't lie all day. I don't know what it is, guys. I didn't join the lying parade. I can't join that mess. I cannot sleep at night if I'm lying to my viewers. Even if I don't get all those crazy views. Now, again, getting those kind of numbers is every YouTuber's dream. But I wouldn't feel good if I have to lie for it. You know? Shout out to Messi Machone live for the $5. Appreciate you sponsoring the show. Says the GoFundMe was raised to $850K at the end of the funeral. Yeah, I noticed that. And I'm like, the funeral should be the closure. Why would they raise the GoFundMe again? Because they want more money. It's not enough. 700 and something thousand is not enough, guys. They want more money. And here's the thing, guys. You know Tyler Perry had to cut that family a nice check on the side. You know that, right? Spike Lee, all those different celebrities. Guys, when I tell you, this family is rich. They are filthy rich right now. Do you know how many celebrities is probably cutting checks, giving them, just to give them, guys? They probably walked away with $5 million due to this ritual. Because that's what it's looking like. I don't trust nothing about this mess. That GoFundMe should be closed. It should be done. Funeral is done. Okay, over. Close the GoFundMe. No, they want to keep it open. They want to keep the GoFundMe going so that they could continue making more money. Matter of fact, let's go to the GoFundMe. Let me go there. Let me go to the GoFundMe so we could put that on the screen so that could be in my stream so that it's like time-stamped in the video, you know? This is sad, man. Absolutely sad, guys. How people just have no integrity, man. And like I said, back in the day, when a loved one died, family used to call each other trying to scrape money together. And we used to argue and fight because we didn't have it, you know? $200 here, $50 there to try to scrape the money together to cover the cost of a funeral. Then I remember people were using GoFundMe for the funeral costs. People would just say, okay, I need about $5,000 or $10,000 the most. Now, when you have a loved one that died, it's an opportunity to get rich. Yeah. I'll prove it to you. Watch this. I'm going to prove it to you. Let's go to Nolan. Because I need for the viewers to really know what's going on, guys. Let's get their GoFundMe so I can show you how families are trying to get rich off the death of their loved ones. That GoFundMe should have been reported already. You could call me a hater. You could say what you want. This is robbery. At this point, you're abusing people. You abusing people. I remember when their GoFundMe goal was 11,000. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's get that. Give me a minute, guys. I got a lot of things I got to get because y'all won't believe me if I didn't show you. Y'all would not believe me. If I didn't show you, you won't believe me. So let me see if I could do this. Let me see. Okay. Let me go to this person's page. Okay. Where is it? Hope they didn't delete it. Because a lot of times these people be deleting stuff because they don't want people to see the truth. Okay, here we go. Let me show you it so you don't think I'm lying. I always gather my receipts, guys. All right, now that we got that, let me get another receipt. Just bear with me, guys. Let's go get Akin Liverpool's GoFundMe. All right, let's see how his hustle is going. Now, keep in mind, I was trying to promote the Akin Liverpool case because I felt that their case needed coverage too, but I learned that their family are grifters too. And I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm not even promoting them like that because I'm not using my platform to try to help people get rich because their loved one is dead. That's not what this is about, man. If you wanted help with a funeral or whatever, cool. But when you start having outrageous goals, you're tripping. What was that black woman what was the name of the black woman that they said they found her hanging on a tree? What was her name? If anybody know her name, put it in the chat so I could go get it on GoFundMe. What was the name of that black woman they said they found? They said that she took her own life. She was hanging on a tree. Anybody remember her name? So I can look it up. Because I want to show you how everybody trying to, okay, it was Tone, right? Okay. Tone. I think that's all I need is Tone. I think that's all I need. It'll come up. Okay, I got it. This is crazy, guys. And the reason why a lot of these other people are not gaining the money they want is because all the attention is on Nolan Wells. So their grifts are not going to work. Right? So now let me show you this, guys. Let me show you how disgusting these people are. Now, when it comes to, hold on, wrong window. When it comes to Nolan Wells, check this out. July 7th. Notice their goal for their GoFundMe was at 11,000. 11,977. You see that? And that was on the 7th. They started the GoFundMe on the day they found the body on the 6th of July. You see that? The is the one and only GoFundMe created for Nolan. I know times are hard, but we appreciate anything that is donated. Thank you all much for the support. Notice the grammar is off because they're Russian. You know, thank you all so much, right? So they tell you times is hard, right? For the 11,000. times is hard, right? But when you look at this, times is hard, right? But their goal is now 850,000, guys. Guys, these people are demons, man. They're robbing people, guys. They're greedy. There's no other way around it, fam. Then there's no other way around it. Guys, this is not right. This is not in no loving memory. This is a heist. Think about all this money that you guys just threw at a family because a kid accidentally died. But they want you to believe somebody that's white murdered them. I'm glad I'm not a racist, man. I'm glad I'm not one of these YouTubers that keep using race to try to get clicks and views by making black people angry with white people all day. I can't make content like that. That stuff is sick. But now watch this. Remember I told you about Akin Liverpool. He died the exact same way like Nolan Wells, and nobody cared. But look at this. Look at this. They already raised 13,000. But look at the goal. 100,000. Are you out of your effing mind? Why? Why do you need $100,000 if the dude is dead? Why? Go bury him. No, that's not enough. We need to make money because we see Nolan Wells making hundreds of thousands. So we're going to do the same thing. But nobody's really giving like crazy, guys, because it's not being publicized on the news. It's not being publicized. But now watch this one. Remember the black woman that was hanging on the tree? Look at her GoFundMe. 2,900. That's it. That's all they were able to raise. You know why? This story is getting no headlines. None. And she's the one that they said that was hanging on the tree, guys. You see that? They said she was the one that was hanging on the tree. Black people forgot about that. They said, forget about her. Let's focus on Nolan Wells. You see that? This is crazy how people hustle people on GoFundMe. Hustling. That's what they do. Hit that like button, guys. Let's get back to the content. Let's go.
It was racist, but we cannot say it was not racist. So let's not judge either way.
Let me rewind it back a little bit in case we missed anything. Let's go.
And there are people of all ages. All whites are not a racist, and all blacks are not angry.
That's all political right there. That's all politics. You understand? Al Sharpton don't like white people. He's in the business of not liking white people. Always understand that. He just got to be politically on point to make sure that he cover all his tracks.
Somewhere in the middle, we've got to meet and find what is just and fair. And that is why we want to celebrate Nolan and at the same time say we want a full and thorough investigation.
That's not a funeral, guys. That's a rally. This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace, guys. That's not a funeral. This is a rally.
We don't want nothing sugar-coated either way. But for an 18-year-old young man to no longer be with us, we want answers. Not biased either way, just answers. And I think that for the family, the closure can come if there is justice.
And shout out to all the members joining the live chat. Appreciate y'all stopping by. I'm surprised that people are even here because I figured nobody wouldn't be here, but I was going to go along with the show anyway. You know what I mean? But I appreciate everybody stopping by. Salute the show in the building. Let's get back to the content, guys. Hit the like button. Let's go.
We will see where it goes. Some have prejudged. I do not think that it is appropriate for either side of opinions to prevail without a backup and fair investigation. We cannot say it was racist, but we cannot say it was not racist.
He's gaslighting you. Do you not understand that, guys? In other words, he don't want to be known as, oh, we're just playing the race card or whatever the case is, but we can't say that it's not racist. You see how he covered himself? Let's go.
So let's not judge either way until all the evidence is in.
He's saying not to judge either way, but all throughout this case, black people are judging white people. Black people are judging white people all throughout this case. Let's just call it what it is, man. You know? Blacks want to see somebody white fry. That's what this is all about. Listen, Al Sharpton understands the power that he holds. A lot of y'all may not understand this, but Al Sharpton has power, guys. I don't like the guy, to be honest with you. I really don't. But Al Sharpton has power. Ben Crump has power. These guys have power to be able to control people. They have that ability. And a man like Al Sharpton is very experienced. He knows how to get under the skin of blacks. He knows how to rage bait and get a rise out of people. He knows how to do this on both sides of the spectrum. He knows how to get black people to be emotionally invested, and he knows how to make white people angry so that we're all fighting while the algorithm is pushing this case. That's what he knows how to play the game, guys.
And in that light, let me say this, and I'm going to take a brief text and I'll move on. There are those that are so full of hate that they would send hate messages to the house of these parents. They sent one that Christine shared with Attorney Crump and I, and it accused her and Elmer of just stirring trouble and accused the lawyers, Attorney Crump and I, oh, they just want money. First of all, I don't get any money in any of what we do. Most of the cases that you have seen us do, we help to pay the funerals and all of that, and never ask for a dime back, even if they got settlement.
Trust and believe me, guys. Al Sharpton gets something. He ain't just there for his health. You understand? Nobody comes out somewhere to do all of this and they're not earning something. Somebody is paying him. Do you understand? Somebody is always paying these race hustlers.
But since Mississippi's so special, I'm not only saying we don't want nothing. I want to say right here now, and I'm inspired by who accused us of that I want to put up from National Action Network and me, I want to offer a reward of $50,000 to anybody
$50,000. That's all you want to offer? You know, it's interesting that these folks are offering $50,000. You guys got Tyler Perry, Spike Lee, you got all these big willies with big pockets, right? Why don't y'all offer $1 million? Make it interesting. Since you guys believe that white people killed Nolan, let's just, roll the dice. Offer up a $1 million reward. Oh, somebody. If somebody knows something, they coming forward for that million. 50,000, it's not worth it. That's chump change. Matter of fact, tell Nolan's family to offer up the GoFundMe. Would they do that? Would Nolan's family offer up the GoFundMe money to get justice for Nolan? Surely they don't care about the money, right? They could offer up the money so they could get the information to lock up somebody because they want justice, remember? That family ain't giving up that money for no justice for Nolan. Please. They don't care about no damn justice.
I want to put a reward up for $50,000.
He's doing this at a funeral, guys. Trying to flex. Like he got big pockets. Because they basically criticize him and Ben Crump of basically trying to hustle. I think I got a screenshot of what was sent. Let me see if I can find it. I think I got it, guys. Give me a minute. Let me see. I think I got it on this system here. I got to clean this computer out. Got to be here somewhere. I know I'm always taking screenshots of stuff. Let me see. I remember seeing, okay, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Let's add this to the video. Boom. You see that, guy? Christine posted this on her social medias. She said, whoever sent this to my home, may the Lord, the good Lord, have mercy on your soul. Bold enough to send this crap, but not bold enough to list your return address. This is America, where a grieving mother and father have to deal with this type of behavior because we ask a simple question of what happened to our son and accept all the help we could get to finances. Please go touch some grass. Guys, I don't believe anybody sent her anything. I don't believe it. I believe they orchestrated this to make the public believe that a racist somewhere sent that to her. That's what I believe. I believe that they literally orchestrated this so that you could believe that somebody sent this. Now, they sent a photo. You see the mail there. So it's coming from Denver, right? Where you see Ben Crump and Al Sharpton with dollar signs. This is pretty accurate. This is accurate. I don't see what's so bad about this, but they want to turn it into a racial thing. Like if a white person sent something calling them N-words, and there is nothing that is so bad about this. This is actual factual. To see the dollar signs, I think all of you would agree that this is actual factual. You know? I don't think whoever sent that did anything wrong. That's actual factual. These guys are looking for money. It's not like they wrote like some hate message and, you know, to hell with your son and blah, blah, blah. They just sent you a photo with dollar signs. But she posts this for people to see. She ain't have to tell us, but she wanted to tell us to rage bait us. She didn't have to tell us, guys. She could have kept this to herself. She could have just leave it alone, right? And pray to God. But no, she posted that on her Instagram because she knew that would rage bait viewers. Remember, they got to keep you angry. And that's what happened. People got angry once they realized what was done. They got upset, right? Let's get back to the content.
For anybody that could give the information that will lead to an arrest and a conviction in the case.
An arrest and conviction. That's crazy. That's desperate. This man is looking for an arrest and conviction, guys. Basically, he's trying to pay for it. You know why? I'll tell you why. I'm glad you asked that question. Why Al Sharpton and Tyler Perry is offering up a $100,000 reward? I'll tell you why. Because they don't have anything. They already got the autopsy, guys. They're just not releasing it. But they don't got nothing. In all their investigation, with all these attorneys, with everything that they got, they don't have nothing that could pin anything on Nolan's friends. Nothing. So in a desperate attempt to stay relevant and to keep this race hustling going, to keep that GoFundMe going up, they want to offer a reward. So are we going to pin $100,000 reward all over the streets on posters? Because who actually is going to call them if all of those are Nolan's friends? If Nolan's friends, let's just say this, let's play devil's advocate for a minute. If Nolan's friends on the boat killed Nolan, right? What is the point of having a reward if nobody's going to testify and say, well, this is what I seen? Because why would they do that? Right? So this is stage acting, guys. Nobody could come forward to say anything. I feel that Al Sharpton wants somebody to lie on someone just so they could accuse someone and put someone in prison falsely. And you know what's so sick about this is that Black Americans are always complaining about the system is flawed. A lot of innocent Black men go to prison and blah, blah, blah. But yet the Black community wants to arrest and charge one of these teenagers with the death of Nolan falsely with no evidence. That's what they want to do. I'm fair and balanced. If somebody's guilty, they're guilty. You know, like Carmelo Anthony, he's guilty. He's a murderer. But remember, it was the Black community that was riding with Carmelo Anthony saying, "Free Carmelo," when he murdered Austin Metcalf. And the community was divided. Whites versus Blacks. The Black community gave Carmelo's family over $700,000. And guess what? Carmelo is doing 35 years. You waste your money. You thought that giving that family all of that money, he was going to be able to walk free. That family didn't even take that money to get him proper representation. And even with proper representation, he still wasn't going to go nowhere. And then to add insult to injury, once he get judged and get 35 years in prison, then you want to have these so-called civil rights attorneys coming together with a pro bono service for Carmelo Anthony, and he's a killer. A killer. Guys, he's a killer. And civil rights attorneys want to come check the records to make sure the case was done properly, to see if there's any racists involved. For a killer. You don't see something's wrong? You can't see that the system is flawed? Let's get back into the content. Hit the like button.
Of what happened. He was not on that island by himself.
So he's accusing somebody. If he wasn't on the island by himself, you're accusing someone.
Somebody saw something and knows something.
You got to prove that. You got to prove that, guys.
I didn't come to make money. I came to give money. Stand up and tell the truth.
That's a prosperity slogan. I didn't come to take your money. I came to give money. That's what the prosperity preachers like Creflo Dollar and all those pulpit pimps, they normally say stuff like that after they take your money. And if you're in the Christian church, guys, and your pastor is telling you to tithe, leave that church. The Bible don't teach you to tithe no money to no damn pastor. He's a criminal. He's a crook. I don't even know why y'all in them churches. 2026 and you still attending them damn Christian churches, listening to some bootleg pork chop eating pastor telling you to give you his money, and you got bills to pay and a car note and rent due and mortgage due. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you.
Whatever it is, good or bad, we're not going to prejudge it, but we cannot end it until we know all the facts. So all you got to do is reach out to Attorney Crump's office, and National Action Network could do.
So he want random people to just reach out to his office to lie? The only people who could reach out is those that were at the island, not everybody. So I could just imagine some thirsty, greedy person contacting his office, giving false information, falsifying information, incriminating or putting someone else at risk by saying, oh, I know who did it, this person right here. You know? I could just imagine people that's going to be, because they want money.
That, if it leads to an arrest and conviction.
Arrest and conviction. That's what he's looking for. This is sick, guys. There is no evidence, nothing. How do you even find evidence, guys? When this kid was pulled from the water, drowned, y'all did autopsies. You won't give the results to the public. Where is the autopsy results, Al? Crump, where's the autopsy results? Stop playing with us, the people. Provide the results. The reason why you guys will not show the results is because it will show that Nolan, it will show that either he had drugs in his system, possible alcohol, because remember, these kids were out there celebrating 4th of July. They're teenagers, boatings. What do you think they're doing? They're drinking, they're smoking, they're partying, music is playing. That's going to be in his system. Either that, or he fell over, bust his head somewhere, went into the water, got a cramp, went inside of the tide, the wave took him in, he couldn't swim. Or everybody out there, nobody don't got on life jackets. No life jackets, right? No safety, right? Nobody thought about safety first, right? Doesn't matter how good you swim. That water, don't discriminate. When them waves get you, it doesn't matter if you're white or black. It'll pull you under.
And I guarantee you'll have it before the sun goes down.
You'll have it before the sun goes down. You'll have it before the sun goes down, guys. So basically, he's telling people they will have that money before the sun goes down. Think about how many people that's going to come for that money.
I want to thank Tyler Perry, who has paid for the funeral.
Think about that. Tyler Perry paid for the funeral, guys. If Tyler Perry paid for the funeral, what was the GoFundMe for? Because they told us that the GoFundMe was to pay for the funeral. So that's a lie. Give the people back their money. Give the people back their money, guys.
We didn't call him. He called me and said, I want to pay for that. I want to thank Byron Allen and others that have contributed, some that don't even want their name called.
Some that don't even want their name called. Didn't I tell you guys that these big willy actors and producers and executives, they flooded that family's bank account with so much money. When I tell you they are rich right now, I don't know what Nolan's life was for, but it seemed like this family got paid for his soul. They got paid for his soul, guys. Somebody sold Nolan out. Somebody sold him out, guys.
I was thinking as a scripture in Genesis, the 4th chapter, that passage that starts at the 2nd verse said, and again she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a worker of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought unto the Lord an offering of fruit of the ground. And Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock, and their fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering. But for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his face fell. The Lord said to Cain, why art thou angry? And why has your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it. Cain spoke to Abel, his brother. And when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is Abel, your brother?" And he said, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" And the Lord said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground." May God add a blessing to the reading of his word.
Why are they clapping for, guys? Why are they even clapping? He didn't even explain what is he talking about. What's the context? You know? What exactly is he trying to say? This is what I mean about religious people. They just start clapping and they don't even know what's going on. He didn't even explain himself yet. Let's hear what he got to say.
The story of what we have faced in America.
And if the video is acting funny, guys, I live in a rural area. The internet sucks, right? So just focus on the video. As long as you can hear me, that's all that matters.
Is a question that started in the first book of the Bible with the first siblings. Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper? Or will we, out of some emotions, some anger, some jealousy, some envy, maybe some bigotry, decide rather than deal with building up the beauty that God put in us, that we will harm our brother and that we will harm our sister, and through some malice try to hide it? But the Bible says that the victim's blood cried from the ground.
He's trying to use the story with Cain and Abel and compare it to the situation with Nolan Wells. This is irresponsible and dumb. You know? And I don't like when people do stuff like this, guys. I really don't like that. But it's divisive, man. It's designed to cause division. He's using Bible scripture to make it look like this is a Cain and Abel situation. That's what he's doing.
I hear this morning Nolan's blood.
Wow.
Crying from the ground. Am I my brother's keeper? Or am I the keeper of some secret? Some information that you could give and won't stand up. But the blood's gonna haunt you. Those in law enforcement, your job is to follow the oath, not to follow the preference of what goes down.
So he's falsely accusing people at this point. He's just making it seem like somebody's hiding something. That's what he's doing, guys. He's making it seem like somebody's hiding something. That's wrong.
There are those that want me to condemn people before we know whether they're right or wrong.
You already did. The black community have condemned white people already. With all of this rage baiting, social media is a mess right now. All these black influencers are hustling off this case. And they're spreading so many lies to keep people and their viewers enraged.
Now, yes, there's some questions around this. And this is not a rally. This is a praise and worship service. And we'll deal with those questions. But, you know, it's interesting. I exercised every morning. I tore something in my knee about 2 weeks ago. And they told me when they did the x-ray, Reverend, that I had torn my meniscus. And I had to go to get some surgery. And they said when I went to get surgery, they said, well, wait a minute, your doctor has to give us your history so we don't get the wrong thing to deal with your surgery. So The medication.
If the video is bugging out, guys, it's because the internet is doing something weird right now. So just bear with whatever's going on. That's why I kind of just paused the video for a second, because I don't know if the video is going through. Because on my end, it says poor signal. So I'm kind of waiting to see what happened. That means that the web browser is going to crash. So I'm going to kind of wait to see what happened. It just did. It just crashed, and now it kind of rebooted again. So let's see if it comes back. Put a 1 in the chat if we're back. Put a 1 in the chat if we're back. I'm gonna make sure it's back. Once you guys hear me, put that 1 in the chat and make sure you click that red dot so that you're up to speed. Some of y'all are probably like 30 minutes behind. I need you guys to be active in the live chat. Y'all not where I'm at right now. Click the red dot so that you could be right where I am, so that you can hear me when I'm speaking, because it's like there's a delay. Because I told you guys to put a 1 probably a minute ago. So, yeah, all right. So we good? All right.
What you have to do to recoup and the exercise you have, we got to base that on your medical history. Well, the reason why what's happened to Nolan under unquestioned, unanswered questions.
Nothing happened to Nolan that nobody know about. This is the problem with this case. We're assuming something happened with no facts. That just creates suspicion, guys.
Gone, phone and keys found 2 days later.
The phone and keys weren't found. They making it seem like somebody stole it, guys.
You don't tell nobody you had the phone or the keys.
Do you see what he's doing? This is sick, man.
When you confronted, you first tell another story. Then when they finally get the phone and the keys, there are things erased.
Nothing was erased. He's lying. That is a lie. The mother is the one who put out that story about when they checked the phone. They believe something was erased. There is no evidence, guys, none, that have proven that something been erased from Nolan's phone. Up to now, no investigator looked at his phone and can confirm that something was erased. So, Al Sharpton, you're a horrible person because you're accusing somebody of erasing something with no facts. That's why I would never trust you. Let's go.
From the phone. There's just too many unanswered questions.
Nothing was erased from the phone, guys. What was erased? If something was erased from the phone, what was erased? He can't answer the question because nobody have an answer because they're lying. These are the lies that are being published, guys.
Somebody's saying that he told us he was leaving the island. So I don't know an 18-year-old person, black, white, or undecided, that gives somebody their phone.
First of all, on the island, there's no internet. There's no service, no signal. You can't even get a call out. So even if you on the island with that phone, you can't even call nobody. Do you understand that? If people are in water, they're not swimming with a phone on them, guys. Proper protocols to leave the phone on the boat, phone and keys. Why would you want to lose your keys? Al is not smart as you think. He's not, because he's not making any sense.
I'm a lot older than 18. I wouldn't trust Crump with my phone. So we just raising the questions.
None of this should be discussed at a funeral. It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate. All of this being conducted at a funeral, guys, this is wrong, guys. Totally wrong.
Where is my brother? He went out with y'all. He came back.
Do you see how he's accusing the guys? He's accusing Nolan's white friends.
Not with the where is my brother? And because of the background, like they asked me before.
And this is how you know they don't got nothing. They don't got nothing on these kids. Nothing. They don't have nothing. They just keep accusing.
They give me surgery. They went to my medical history. So the reason why a lot of people in the nation are looking at this Nolan situation is that we've looked at history in Mississippi.
See, you're focusing on history in Mississippi. So you made it a race issue. See, you just said during this funeral that it's not about racism and this and that. But then you're talking about the history in Mississippi. That's why I said, guys, you cannot trust this guy. He's a race hustler. He liked to rage bait. Al Sharpton, I have a question for you. Why you're not talking about the Ken Liverpool case? Let me see if I can bring that back up. Why you're not talking about this guy? To Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, why you're not talking about this guy? Even though his family is grifting, they're looking for money, still, why Al Sharpton and Ben Crump is not talking about this guy's death? You see the information right there on the screen, guys. Right? Because he died the same way like Nolan Wells. And there is no news coverage, no publicity at all. You know why? Because this is a black guy and all of his friends that was on the boat, they were all black. That's why Ben Crump is not interested and Al Sharpton is not interested. Because all his friends are black. You can't rage bait with black and black. You can't do it. You can't have civil rights leaders come out if it's black with black. That's why nobody's talking about this guy who died. He died the exact same way, guys. When he fell off the boat, nobody saw him. None of his friends or family noticed that he fell off the boat, but he fell off the boat. And guess what it says? He was drinking and he was dancing at the end of the boat. I believe the bow of the boat. He fell off and nobody saw him. And up to now, Ben Crump nor Al Sharpton has even addressed this case. Why? Because all his friends are black. So they can't rage bait with this. But when it comes to Nolan, oh yeah, all his friends are white. Perfect case to use the race card to get black people invested emotionally, and money can be generated. That's the reason why black people sent $700,000 to Carmelo Anthony, because they felt they were banding with Carmelo to fight against the white man. Right? But Carmelo still got 35 years in prison. So you all waste your money. That's what happens when you put your money where it don't belong. You got played. Right? Let's get back to the content. Hit the like button.
Some of us remember what happened in Mississippi. And because of what happened in Mississippi, doesn't mean it's guilty today. But
you're right about that, Ashatika. They supposed to be celebrating the life he lived. They are far from doing that. Lori says, exactly. They supposed to be letting friends and family remember him. They ruined his funeral. Yeah. You were supposed to have other family, friends, and other people speaking on behalf of Nolan. But it seemed like it turned into a pep rally, a political event to rally the troops. So this funeral is a ritual.
Before we can medicate and heal today, We got to look at your history.
Medicate and heal today. We don't belong in there. This is about Nolan and his family healing. But he made it a we thing. Are you seeing this, guys? I am tired of seeing stuff like this, guys, where they turn these things into, I don't know, maybe I'm the only black guy in America that just am tired of this nonsense. I do not wake up in the morning worrying about white people, worrying about who's racist, worrying about being oppressed. You know, the white man holding me down, you know. I don't worry about none of that stuff. And it's so crazy when I do content like this, black people say, oh, I'm trying to be friends with white people. Like I'm doing this because I want white friends. Guys, I don't have no friends. Black or white. I don't got friends. I don't want no friends. I like being by myself. Because there are too many evil people in the world, too many NPCs. Now, of course, I interact with people. I have associates, people that are friendly, people that I'm cool with, you know what I'm saying? Potential friend developing relationships that can be successful. I have that. But to say that somebody's my friend, you know, that word right there, you know, it's a very serious word. You just don't put that on anybody. You know, when you think of a friend, you're talking about somebody that they know your family, you broke bread, you've been to their house, they've been to your house, you know what I'm saying? You have years of being around, you know what I'm saying? That's a friend. You just don't call anybody your friend. No.
Because history will decide, can you handle the medication? I look back into history.
He's talking about history when this is supposed to be a funeral for Nolan Wells. He's talking about history. This is why I cannot stand when black folk have this slavery mentality. Everything is always about history. I'm tired of talking about history. Can we talk about now? Could we talk about rebuilding Black Wall Street? Could we talk about Tyler Perry actually using his billions to empower the black community? This is why I don't respect none of these people with all this money they got. They got all this money, but they're not doing a damn thing for the black community. They're not doing nothing for black people. Just flexing on them. You know, like Byron Allen giving $100,000. All these big willy guys with all this money, but they're not doing nothing for the black community. Nothing.
And I noticed that Emmett Till happened here.
Why is he talking about Emmett Till, guys? Rage baiting, race hustling, getting black people angry. If you're white and you're viewing, this is a clear example of what they're doing. Getting black people upset. For some reason, anytime you bring up Emmett Till, anytime you bring up anybody that's black, Sonia Massey, this one, that one, anybody, it infuriates black people and it reminds them of the past. And then what happens is you're giving Al Sharpton and these race hustlers your energy. That's what you're doing.
All the way to Medgar Evers happened here. Based on the history, we got to be able to dig deep. We can't have people in law enforcement.
See, they're blaming white people. You can't see? They're blaming white people. He's not blaming black people. There were black people that was over there at that boating event. Why they're not being accused? Why he blaming law enforcement? I understand there are some racist people in the world. I get that. There's racist people in the world. But he's falsely blaming people with no facts, no evidence, nothing. That's sick.
Saying there was no foul play before an investigation.
If they looked at the situation, I think that law enforcement and other people are smart enough to know that there's no foul play, meaning he don't appear to be beaten up, stabbed, shot. You got YouTubers that are online, guys. I've seen videos. I'll have to do reactions to them where YouTubers are claiming that Nolan was beaten up pretty bad, bruised and battered. These are all lies. All lies to get clicks and views. YouTubers will do anything for clicks and views, guys. I can't do that. Only thing I could do, guys, is be honest. If you like my content, you choose to subscribe. You choose to click the like button. Hopefully it's because you recognize that I'm a man of integrity and I'm doing a good job of my commentary. Other than that, I'm not coming on YouTube to lie to the people, because the people can make or break your platform. The YouTubers that are lying and grifting, eventually their platforms are going to die out. Once people realize you've been lying the whole time and you've been making all this money, they ain't going to support you no more. Let's get back to the content. Hit the like button.
We got to look at the history.
He's riling the people up. They're supposed to be celebrating Nolan, but instead they're focusing on past events that happened to black people.
Now, I know, and I told Christine and Elmer, they're going to say, you had Sharpton come down. And that could be controversial, but don't get me wrong.
Right, by him, yeah. Also saying law enforcement is crooked. That's right, because you have black law enforcement, so they're basically targeting anybody that's white. So if you're law enforcement and you're white, Al Sharpton is basically saying that you had something to do with a cover-up or a possible killing of Nolan Wells. That's divisive, man. He's just doing wrong, man. That's why I can't support the Nolan Wells family. I can't support that mess. I'm 100% against them, guys. 100%. So I don't want you guys thinking that I'm in support of Nolan Wells. I'm not. I'm the one who's speaking the truth against this family that is not grieving. Grieving people don't be on social media. Grieving people stay home. When my mom died, guys, I took off a whole month from YouTube. A whole month from social media. I was in here. I had to get myself together. But you got people on YouTube that their mothers die, and you see them on YouTube going live, trying to do content. I'm like, fam, these people didn't love their mothers.
I grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Me too.
I grew up in a section called Brownsville.
I worked in Brownsville Projects.
My parents had a nice home in Queens, nice middle-class home.
He had to rub that in. Nice middle-class home. In other words, I'm not really from the hood, from the ghetto.
And Daddy left, and Mom had to move to a tenement in Brownsville.
Meaning the projects. Tenement building.
I didn't grow up in Fort Greene like Spike Lee. They were middle class. We was poor.
Blacks always like to do this. We were poor, because if you can say we were poor, now you can relate with all the black folks that are sending all their money. In other words, hey, I was poor, but I'm not anymore.
We weren't even poor. We was poor. And we had, Spike don't know nothing about this, but we had roaches.
He's talking about roaches, guys. They're supposed to be celebrating the life of Nolan Wells. This reverend is using the pulpit, the podium, to talk about roaches. When a kid is dead, and he's talking about roaches.
And I remember I went one night and I went in the kitchen. Sister had gone to bed, mother had gone to bed. I looked in the kitchen and I saw these roaches all over the kitchen. And I'm looking for the Raid. Some of y'all grew up like me, know what Raid is. I'm looking for the Raid to spray the roaches. I ran and woke up my sister. And I said, there's roaches all over the kitchen.
Guys, this is sick. This is sick that this grown man is talking about roaches in the kitchen and getting Raid. Now, under normal circumstances, guys, I would be making jokes and, you know, just making a mockery of this nonsense, laughing at this stuff. But it's not even funny, man. This stuff is sick that this man is doing this at a funeral. A funeral, guys.
She said, leave me. I said, get up. You got to help me. There's roaches all over the kitchen. she kind of stumbled and come down the hall and hit the switch and fixing her eyes. And when she looked, she said, "Ain't no roaches in here." I said, "No, they were right here." She said, "You woke me up. I don't see no roaches." She went back to bed. She was angry, didn't want to hear from me. I went back again and looked in the kitchen. Roaches everywhere. I went back and grabbed again. I said, come on. You got to see it. I'm not kidding. She stumbled in. She cut the light on. Roaches was gone. So I'm now in the little hallway trying to figure this out. And I figured it out, that when you cut the light on.
Are you guys getting what he just did? Do you see how he's basically saying that white people are the roaches, guys? Do you see what this sick man is doing? If you're white, just in case you don't know, maybe you already picked up on it. Al Sharpton is basically saying when you turn on the light, the white people run. But when the light is off, they come out to play. He's basically calling white people roaches. And this is what creates the racial divide. Now, of course, you have white folk that understand the bull crap that's going on. You have some white folk that are pissed. You know what I'm saying? And hey, to each his own. You could be pissed. I'm pissed. I'm tired of seeing all of this nonsense. I'm tired of it. I cannot stand all the race hustling, the division, all this racist garbage back and forth. I cannot stand this mess. I cannot stand it, y'all. Because I'm not like that. I don't wake up in the morning, the white man, I cannot stand these people. Bro, I can't live like that. I like living in peace. I like greeting people. If they don't want to greet me, hey, it is what it is. I already told you stories about that stuff. Like when I first got to this community, I saw a white guy. He was walking his dog. It was my first time coming outside because I was, I moved out here and I was just in the house. I didn't even walk around the community and whatnot. So I said, you know what? Let me go take a walk. Kind of get to know the area. And I go and I see the white guy coming down the street with his dog, and it's early in the morning. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Good morning. He just kept walking by. He didn't even look. Well, he looked at me and then he just kept going. It's like, okay. I'm not going to make me become bitter and treat everybody else like crap. I just look at it as that person got a chip on their shoulder. And I just know now not to say nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? And there's going to be people like that. Matter of fact, it's not just because the person is white. There are black people that do that. You could go to a community, live in a community, and one of your neighbors is black. But they think they're better than you. Hey, sir, good morning. And he just look at you like, and go about his way. Don't let that type of stuff make you become like them. Always be yourself. You see what I'm saying? Always be yourself. Don't let the hatred and the evil of other people make you become as evil as them. And now you're being mean-spirited. I like to greet people when I'm in certain environments. Like, let's say if I go to the park, y'all always see me when I'm at the park and I do my videos. If I come eye to eye with people, I always wave my hand or say, hey, how you doing? And just keep it moving. That way, that person's familiar with the fact that I come here too. Familiarity, it's a good thing to do. It breaks the ice. There was one time my kids, we took them to the very same park. And I think my wife and I was pretty much exercising. We was jogging around the park. And I told my girls, go play. and they went playing, and you had a white guy. He had his, I think, 2 kids or whatever, and my girls was playing with his kids like nothing. They were just playing, having a good old time. I didn't see the guy say, oh, come here. Don't play next to those black people. They're bad. No. We knew that that's a father. He's with his kids. We're parents. We knew that we're in a park where there's civilized human beings. So what are you worrying about? I didn't look at nobody suspicious. And we just left them there. And they were playing. That's the way the world's supposed to be. But when you're on social media, there's so much evil and hatred. It keeps us divided. It keeps us hating one another. It keeps black people looking at white people like, yeah, they're out to get us. It makes white people look at black people and be like, I can't stand them. Can't stand these N-words. These people. All they're doing is looking for handouts. And because of all the stereotypes and the rumors and the hate, there's so much anger that's being fueled on social media. That's why I try to bridge the gap. I try to be fair and balanced and whatnot in hopes that somebody will become a better person, hopefully. You know, because we live in an evil world. But I understand that even though the world is evil, I don't have to be evil. You know, sometimes as a man, whether you're white or black, if you could just treat people with respect, it could change people. You know, it could change people. Sometimes just waving at somebody. You don't have to talk. You meet eye to eye, just, how you doing? Keep it going. That's it. It breaks the ice. People are uncomfortable nowadays. We're afraid of one another. If you really admit it, white and black, we're afraid of one another. We get uncomfortable when we see each other. We don't even know what to do. We get nervous. And we're wondering why you feel that. Why? Because of social media. Social media make you feel that way. Social media make you really feel like, I can't talk to these people. No, I don't want to say nothing to them. Now, it's affecting whites and whites, blacks and blacks. How many of you white folk live in your community? You're white and you don't even talk to your neighbors. You're white, you live in a white community, but your neighbors don't even talk to you. Everybody just stay to themselves. That's what's going on right now in the world. Even a lot of you in the black community, you don't even talk to your neighbors. We don't talk to each other no more. People are not friendly anymore. And here's the thing. I don't think that it's that people are not friendly anymore. I think that we're all looking at each other in a negative way because we're afraid of one another. That's what is going on. It's real sick.
When you cut the light on, the roaches run. I did not come to Mississippi to cause no trouble. I come to cut the light on.
Wow. So he come to cut the light on. So he's saying that white people are the roaches, guys. And everybody's clapping. Isn't that racist? Wouldn't that be useful for hate? So you're saying that when you cut on the light, that you're right and the white people are wrong. That's crazy, man. So he's basically saying that by him standing up with that family, that the white people go hide because he got the light on. So he's basically saying that white people are roaches. That's not good. That's not nice. It's not nice because if white people said that about black people, you'll cry racism. If white people compared black people to gorillas and monkeys, you'll get upset. I don't even know why black people get upset with that. Well, they said monkey and that's not right for a white person to compare me to a monkey. Bro, I don't care. The N-word do not even bother me, guys. I don't know why. I don't know why black folk lose their mind over this stuff. We're in 2026. Y'all still, well, yes, man, yes, master. You know, I don't understand. You know, the white man just, he called me an N-word the other day. Guys, I got so many things I got to do as a man in my life. So many responsibilities. I don't got time to be worrying about who's a racist. I don't care about no N-words. I don't care about who don't like me. I don't care about none of that stuff. I got kids to raise, bills to pay. I got a lot of things that's on my plate to be concerned with a bunch of stuff that's on the outside. I don't got that kind of time. It's wasted energy.
And if we cut the lights on, you're going to see roaches start running all over. It's time to cut the light on. It's time to get rid of our differences. It's time to let love rule over hate. It's time for...
What? It's time to let love rule over hate, but that's what y'all spreading is hate. They're spreading hate, but saying this, I don't know, man. This is crazy.
New Mississippi. It's time for a new coming together. It's time for us to stand together no matter who's wrong. God will make a way for his children. That's why God can use this occasion to make blacks and whites in a state with a bad history say in Nolan's name, we're going to come together and we're going to find out the truth here together.
What truth? You're trying to force a truth. What truth we need to find out together? You guys are trying to pin a death on a white person with no evidence or facts. Do you know how crazy this is? And trust me, if it was something that was wrong with this case and I knew that there was some foul play, I would definitely be holding Nolan friends accountable. At the end of the day, I looked at the case. His friends didn't do nothing wrong, guys. His friends didn't do anything wrong. They're just kids. I'm 49, just in case anybody want to know. I'm 49. My eldest daughter just turned 18. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? She just turned 18. That's my eldest daughter. And when I look at these kids, even though they're young adults, at my age, I look at them as kids. You know what I'm saying? So Al and Crump is trying to blame the friends of Nolan for killing him. Why would his friends want to harm him? And he knew these kids all his life. I told you already, if you're a black guy and you live in a predominantly white neighborhood, chances are all your friends are going to be white because you're going to be going to an all-white school. That's just the way it is. No different than if you're if you're white and you live in a predominantly black community. If you're white, you're going to have more black friends that you're going to hang around to the point where you're going to be sounding like them, just like them. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
We're going to love together. We're going to make his name be the difference between those of the past. We're going to have some justice and some fairness no matter what it is. We're going to cut the light on. We're going to get rid of the roaches. Thank you and God bless you.
That roach analogy thing was horrible. He should have never brought that out because that's going to be taken the wrong way.
Before we leave,
I don't know about you, but that place sounds very small, very, very small. It don't seem like that's a large gathering. I'm surprised they didn't have like an angle where you can actually see who's in the church or whatever the case is, but it seemed like it's a small environment.
Us here, from where we go from here and the family, as we pursue an open impartial look at what happened to Nolan.
Guys, they are dragging this thing. There is nothing. Guys, I'm telling you straight up and down right now, nobody's going to prison over Nolan. Nobody's going to jail. So forget about it. The kid died due to an accident. That's it. We just got to get over it. They're trying to drag this thing longer and longer so they can make more money. And the YouTubers, they want it to stay going so they can make more money. You know?
We hear from the Attorney General of Black America, Attorney Benjamin Crump.
Y'all give it up for Reverend Al Sharpton. What a message. What a message. Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Nolan Wells. Justice for Nolan Wells. Now let's say it so his family will know they are not alone. Justice for Nolan Wells. Thank you. I stand before you with a plea for justice. I'm so grateful that Reverend Al Sharpton, America's civil rights leader, did not think it robbery to stand with Christine and Elmo and all of their family, to let them know that despite what some people may say or do that is so insensitive, so disrespectful, so inhumane.
What's inhumane is the fact that Crump and Al have turned this into a race issue rather than just accepting the fact that a kid died and, you know, let's wait for this autopsy before we jump to conclusions. So they didn't even provide the autopsy results. They didn't do nothing. And they just trying to make it seem like his friends did something to him. You know? When you look at Nolan when he's with his buddies in the photos, those are his buddies. You think they want something to happen to Nolan? You really think that these kids really wanted to do him in? I'm not buying that, man. When I was in high school, I had white friends. Junior high school, I had white buddies, especially if they knew how to play basketball. That was one of the ways you were definitely going to be cool with me if you knew how to play basketball. And I can recall them inviting me and some other black kids to their house to play hooky. And they didn't have to invite us, but they trusted us. They trusted us in their house, and we were cool. I don't remember us trying to kill each other. I remember because they lived in Bensonhurst, and they lived around in them areas. They never been into like downtown Brooklyn and in New York. They'd never been around them areas. They never even been to like the black community areas. They never did. They were scared. And I remember one time I brought them through, and they were nervous and they were scared. And I remember we were in the apartment, we was playing video games and whatnot, and they wanted to go to the store. And they went to the store, but I was still upstairs. And they went to the store, and something had happened where I guess somebody on the block was, they didn't know they were with me and whatnot. And they felt a little intimidated and whatnot. And they called the apartment. It's like, yo, man, somebody downstairs doing this and that at the store. And I went to the store. And when I went to the store and I saw what was going on, I guess somebody was trying to punk them and whatnot. And I had to tell that person about themselves. I said, yo, they with me. Oh, my bad, bro. They from school? Oh, my bad, yeah. And it's so interesting how everybody switch up when you tell them that they with me, you know? And It could be like that vice versa. You could be a black dude and you might be in an environment where it may not even be safe for you. But if you with the right people that you cool with, they're going to have your back. So if Nolan went out with his white buddies to go boat riding and whatever at this island, you going to tell me they didn't have his best interest at heart? Like, okay, you good, Nolan? Because we heading back. You good? I'm going to stay out here. I'm going to do my thing. Oh, you going to catch another? All right, cool. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. Nolan made a choice. What comes next, I don't know. They saying, oh, he was with some girl, he was this, he's that. I don't know. But I'm not going to accuse somebody of killing him with no evidence. I'm not doing that.
You all are grieving the worst loss that any parent could have, that people from New York, people from Los Angeles, people from Chicago, Detroit, London, Paris, all over the world has been calling Nolan Wells' name. Justice for Nolan Wells.
Shout out to Linda for the membership. Okay.
I am so very grateful, Reverend Al, Reverend Toon, that we have a great team of lawyers and investigators, because it's always a team effort.
They got lawyers and investigators, but don't got no proof. They got all these lawyers and investigators, but they still don't got nothing. Guys, they're on a witch hunt trying to find somebody that's white to basically lynch. Let's just call it what it is, since that's what they love to say. You know how black folk is. Every time they always saying that white folk trying to lynch them. What I'm seeing here is a witch hunt trying to find a white person to lynch. That's what I'm seeing.
As I heard Elmo often talk about, T.O., Nolan was a great teammate. And everybody who's ever played on a team and who has been successful in their endeavor understands that you're only as good as your teammates are. So I want to just acknowledge Attorney Lisa Park, Attorney Eric Hertz, Attorney Gary Buffkin, Attorney Carlos Moore, Attorney Camila Moore.
All of these attorneys are getting shout outs at a funeral. I thought we supposed to be celebrating the life of Nolan Wells. I haven't even seen it begun yet. Are y'all seeing this? This is a mess, guys.
And all those great paralegals and investigators and activists.
And you got no results in the case of Nolan Wells. None. None. No results with all this investigation stuff.
All the people who are encouraging people to call and give us information so we can get to the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells.
Why don't you give us the autopsy so we can know what happened to Nolan Wells? How about that? How about that autopsy? How about that? No autopsy, right?
I want to thank you all. It matters. It matters. We're on a ferocious search for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. And so it is very important that you all understand our legal team. And we have these.
Listen, if Nolan Wells was around predominantly black people, none of this would be going on, guys. Nobody would be talking about Nolan Wells. Nobody would be making videos. It would not be of any interest to any social media grifter and YouTuber. Nobody would care. Nobody would care. Ben Crump would not show up for the family if all his friends were black. Nobody would care. But because they're white, it's perfect to sell race biscuits. That's what they love to sell people.
Great co-counsels, but Reverend Al, we're all co-counsels. Anybody who's seeking the truth for what happened to Nolan Wells, I want you all to know that you all are our co-counsels. Amen? Y'all all our co-counsels. And on this legal team, we stand for truth, no matter who it implicates or exonerates. We stand for justice, no matter who it convicts or who it acquits. We stand for transparency because we don't need law enforcement to narrate, because we want transparency because we can see. We don't need them to tell us what they think. And that's why we need all of you to encourage people who were on Horn Island.
So he's still accusing them. In his mind, he's basically saying that we already know the answer. We know that one of you white guys, y'all killed Nolan. That's basically what he's saying. He's basically saying, one of you white guys killed Nolan, and we need somebody from y'all crew to tell the truth. Guys, that's crazy. You can't just assume that somebody did something to this kid without an autopsy. Where the autopsy, Crump? You busy accusing people, but you didn't give the public the autopsy yet. Look how many weeks passed. Where's the autopsy? Public want to know. Where that autopsy at?
On July 4th, if you took a picture, if you have a video, if you have Snapchat, if you have anything, we are pleading on behalf.
Right. Is it a court case or a funeral? That's what I'm saying. Is they said that they were celebrating the life of Nolan Wells. There's no celebration here. This is a pep rally.
For Elmo, and especially on behalf of Christine. As she said, any parent would want the answers as to what happened to their child. They went out on the boat came back, and Nolan washed up on the shore 2 days later dead. Wouldn't you want answers?
Crump, I'm going to always keep bringing this up. Why you ain't giving answers in the Akin Liverpool case? Why? He's dead. He died. Right? He was on a boat. He fell off. He drowned. He was with his black friends celebrating the birthday. How come you're not talking about it, Crump? How come? See, nobody talks about these deaths because it's not profitable to the race hustlers. Right? Let's go.
When you want transparency, when you want the truth, when you want justice, I mean, is that so much to ask? I think so much about Reverend Al and all these cases where we champion the cause for justice, whether it was any number of young people. I think about Trayvon Martin. I think about Michael Brown.
Do you see how he keeps bringing up all these things to bring back up pain, anger against white people? Are y'all not seeing it? This is how race hustling works.
I think about Breonna Taylor. I think about Botham Jones. I think about Stephon Clark. I think about Sonia Massey. I think about so many of our children.
Do you see that? And in each one of them cases, guys, it involves somebody that was white against somebody that is black. That's all this race hustler does, man.
Were taken from us and highly questionable.
But he don't ever talk about black on black crime. He don't ever talk about ninjas unaliving ninjas. Never. You never seen Ben Crump at the projects in Brooklyn, New York. You never see him in the inner city neighborhoods where there's gangs and violence in Chicago. You never see him out in LA where the gangs are. Never. Only time you see Crump is when there's a white person against a black person.
Circumstances. And all the time when Reverend Al and NAACP and leaders show up to say, hold on, we want answers. we want answers because we love our children just like you love your children. Our tears are just as painful as your tears. Our pain hurts just as much as your pain. So whatever you would do for your children, if they were on that boat on Horn Island on July 4th, we want you to do it for Nolan Wells. Whatever investigation you would give for your children,
He's crashing out, guys.
we want you to do it for Nolan Wells. Whatever searches you would do on people's phones for your children, we want you to do that for Nolan Wells. Do it for Nolan Wells. Because really, if we're thinking like co-counsels, understand that Nolan Wells was the son of Christine and Elmore, but he really was all of our sons.
What? He was really all of our sons. Are y'all seeing what he's doing? Do you see what he's doing? He's trying to say that Nolan is my son too. No, he's not. You're not going to make me become emotionally connected. No, I don't like that. I don't like that because you made Nolan become this special sacrifice. What about everybody else that died? What about all of you that lost a loved one? What about your hurt and your pain? I don't like when people make one person an idol. They turn them into a martyr. They turn that person into some form of worship. I don't like that. And that's what he's doing.
Because if something this tragic could happen to their son, it could happen to your children.
Do you see that? I don't receive that. That will never happen to my children. I return all those curses back to sender. Never let people place curses on you by telling you that what happened to Nolan can happen to your kids. You rebuke that mess. You cast that stuff down. And you declare life over your kids and blessings over your kids and protection. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, that can happen to my kids too. No, that's a curse. I'm not listening to that mess.
So we all have to stand up together and say we're fighting for justice for Nolan Wells because he is our son too.
Wow.
And they want us to be quiet.
Who's they? You see? They. He said they want us to be quiet. So he's talking about white people, guys. Why is he blaming white people? White people as a whole was not on that island. So what do you mean they want you to be quiet?
Reverend Al, Reverend Holmes, they want us, Crump, won't y'all just go ahead and, we already told you it was no foul play. What do you keep making so much noise? Well, until we get answers, until we get to truth, until we get to justice, we're going to stand up and we're going to keep ringing the justice bells for Nolan Wells. We're going to ring the justice bells for Nolan Wells here in Mississippi. We're going to ring the justice bells for Nolan Wells in the United States of America. We're going to ring the justice bells for Nolan Wells all over the world.
Do you see how he's being repetitive? Nolan Wells, justice, Nolan Wells. He's programming you. That's why I said don't be an NPC. Don't let these people program you so you could do their bidding, where now you're just wandering all over social media attacking people like me because I'm speaking the truth.
Because Nolan life mattered. Nolan life mattered. Nolan's life mattered.
This is a pep rally, guys.
Nolan's life mattered. 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 Okay. Now, I was gonna. Christine, Elmo, can you all come up with this one last time? Y'all understand, really, we work with so many families. The reason we all got to stand on our feet and say Nolan life mattered, because as Reverend Al said, at some point, the cameras are gonna go away, the crowds are gonna go away, the government investigation gonna go away, and they're gonna feel so alone, as if nobody cared, that nobody felt that Nolan's life mattered. So I want you to stand to your feet and let them know that Nolan life matters. Nolan life matters. Nolan life matters. Nolan's 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 life matters.
Let me say to Christine and Elmo,
I'm still waiting for the tears, guys. No tears up to now. This woman been putting on all these emotional faces and still no tears.
before we do the prayer of committal and escort the family out, I just got a text, Christine and Elmo, you know that Tyler Perry said he would pay for the funeral. He must be watching. Because he said, I'm going to match you and put up $50,000 more.
You see this mess? You think about this, guys. He's telling the family that Tyler Perry says, I'm going to match you and put $50,000 more. In other words, the reward is now $100,000 for anyone who can bring about information that could lead to an arrest or something. This is crazy.
So we putting up $100,000 for anybody that'll come forward. We just want the truth.
She's not shedding no tears. All that emotional, all this mess, it's fake. It's fake, guys.
That's all. We just want the truth. And we want to thank Tyler Perry. He must have been watching.
He must have been watching why he's not there. You know what I'm saying? Like, shouldn't he be there? But he was only there to tell you that he's going to match $50,000, but he's not there to pay his respects. Come on, man.
Want to thank Colin Kaepernick, who paid for Colin Kaepernick, a real giant in our community that shouldn't be disrespected by anybody. But I'll leave that for when I get back to Harlem. But thank you, Colin, for what he did.
It took Crump to tell them to make sure you shout out Colin Kaepernick. You see that? You had to kiss behind because, you know, they paid for this and they paid for that. So they need their shout outs now, you know?
Family. I'm going to ask Reverend R.B. Holmes to give us the prayer of committal, and then we will have the pallbearers and we will do the reception.
I ain't interested in none of this prayer stuff. I don't want none of that witchcraft around on me. So I'm just gonna probably end it right there. I ain't with all of that. Once I see somebody starting to pray publicly and all that other stuff, fam, I shut that mess down. Because a lot of these people be putting witchcraft on you and they put these demon prayers. So don't let them do that mess to you. So yeah. Let me see. Let me get this over here. Okay. Yeah. I didn't want to hear the last bit of that because that's how they put those demonic prayers on you, and before you know it, you wondering like what happened. You feeling some type of ways because they put their demons on you through prayers, you know. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the breakdown. I'm gonna do more regarding this particular case because now that the funeral is over, the GoFundMe should stop. But they put the goal of the GoFundMe up, which means they want more money. You know, they're not happy with 700,000. They want $1 million. That's the goal. 1 million. It's really sad, man. Really, really sad, guys. But I want you guys to pretty much listen to that very same song that I put together, because hopefully this message have woke you up to the grift of what's going on social media. Hopefully you're the few that I was able to wake up from the matrix. But we're going to listen to this and I'm going to come back and give my final thoughts.
Yeah. Turn the noise down. Let the truth breathe. No rumors, no mobs.
Ringo TV reactions.
Evidence before judgment. Wake up.
Hit that like button.
Another headline, another live stream. People selling guesses like they know what it means. Pain gets packaged, anger gets sold, then a lie runs fast while the truth moves slow. No proof on the table, still they point at his friends. Turn suspicion into guilt before the questions ever end. Black against white, that is how they frame the fight. But a race-based story does not make the story right. Christine and Elmore, grief deserves respect, but grief cannot replace what the evidence detects. Hundreds of thousands raised, now the public wants to know where the facts are leading, not where emotions want to go. No charge, no confession, no proven crime. Still the internet convicted people one post at a time. If you care about Nolan, then demand the truth. Do not blame another person when nobody has the proof. Slow down, think before you follow. A lie spreads today, truth may come tomorrow. Calm down, guard your heart and mind. When emotion leads, common sense gets left behind. Wake up, break free from the grift. Do not let the anger make your judgment start to shift. Facts first, truth first, that is how we stand. Do not place guilt on somebody with no proof inside your hand. Wake up, they are pulling every string. Turning grief into a platform, turning pain into a theme. Black, white, side by side, we cannot live by it. Truth does not need race bait just to keep the crowd excited. Ben Crump at the microphone, Sharpton on the stage. Powerful voices know the weight of public rage. Use that power for the facts, do not bend it for a trend. Justice is not justice when division is the end. Sharpton and Tyler Perry offered money for a lead. A reward may bring an answer, but it cannot prove a deed. A burial became a rally. Cameras caught the pain, but a movement cannot tell us who is guilty or to blame. Social media soldiers repeat what they receive. No research, no questions, just an order to believe. Like NPCs in a game, programmed by the feed. Copy, paste, attack, repeat, never checking what they read. You are not a bot, you were born to use your mind. You can care about Nolan and still question what you find. You can pray for the family and reject a reckless claim without turning random people into targets for the blame. Slow down, think before you follow. A lie spreads today, truth may come tomorrow. Calm down, guard your heart and mind. When emotion leads, common sense gets left behind.
Hit that like button.
Wake up, break free from the grift. Do not let the anger make your judgment start
Hit
to
the like
shift.
button.
Facts first, truth first, that is how we stand. Do not place guilt on somebody with no proof inside your hand. Wake up, they are pulling every string. Turning grief into a platform, turning pain into a theme. Black, white, side by side, we cannot live by it. Truth does not need race bait just to keep the crowd excited. This is deeper than a hashtag, deeper than a name. Once you falsely mark a person, you may never clean the stain. Do not let a viral title take your common sense away. Real truth could stand in daylight, real facts can lead the way. No more black against white, no more feeding us to fight. No more making grief a weapon just to keep the ratings high. Minister unto your mind, guard your heart and guard your eyes. Every voice with a platform is not qualified to guide. Wake up, take control of what you see. You were given your own judgment, you were born to think freely. Facts first, truth first, let the evidence decide. We will never find the answer while the people stay divided. Wake up, no more rumors, that's conviction. Wake up, no more race-based manipulation. Wake up, let the truth become the mission. Justice without evidence is only public suspicion. For Nolan, let the truth speak. For every person falsely blamed, let the facts speak. Do not confuse grief with proof. Do not confuse a movement with truth. You are not an NPC. You are not programmed. Truth over race, facts over fear, justice over division. Wake up!
So guys, I'm gonna pretty much wrap it up, get up on out of here, do what I gotta do. That was pretty much the breakdown of that funeral video. I got more content that I gotta do in regards to a lot of stuff that was put out there, guys. And my hope is that your eyes are open and you wake up, because a lot that is going on is designed to divide the community, to keep people fighting, arguing, being enraged and angry all day. So hopefully my work was done. Hopefully I was able to reach somebody and you see the passion and you see the truth. Because I'm misunderstood when I share my commentary. People normally get upset and they get mad. But at the same time, I know I can get some rest and know that I did a good job, because I didn't have to lie to the people. So y'all go in peace. Have a blessed day. And we'll catch you guys on the next stream. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel, guys. And I appreciate everybody stopping by. It is what it is. Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you hit that like button. Ringo TV Reactions, the #1 reactionary channel on YouTube, providing you the best commentary and criticism. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Y'all take care. I'm out of here. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $sign Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.